case with every career. It's just that, like, if you're willing to do horrible things, you will get paid well.
Yup.
Because a couple of my buddies, they graduated from MIT. Like, they were like the crazy smart like kids growing up,
Uh-huh.
and so they started their own robotics company. And before that, they worked for Raytheon. And if you
Uh-huh.
know anything about Raytheon,
I don't.
uh, they they make weapons, lots and lots of weapons.
Oh, good.
Um,
Hmm.
and they were like, "Fuck this! We're gonna build robots instead." So they are.
Did they also make things that go vroom?
Uh, they make things that go vroom, not boom.
Good. This is good.
Specifically, they are doing right now warehouse automation. But Swampy, you can probably attest to this. Whenever you hear about those like fully automated warehouses that Amazon uses, the entire warehouse is built from the ground up with that in mind.
Yeah.
Only a
Mhm.
company like Amazon can afford to shut down production in a certain sector to rebuild a warehouse
Yeah,
for
the same thing
automation.
happened with Ford. When Ford was doing assembly lines, they started working in a little bit, and then they built custom factories for it from the ground up. And
Right.
then they
Uh-huh.
paid well, and were had secret police, but that's fine.
So the thing, though, the
Supposedly.
thing is that if you are a mid-sized company or even like a small-sized company that does warehouse production, you know what you can't do?
Hmm.
Shut down your
That.
entire operation uh, to build a warehouse that you can't afford. So what my buddies do is that they start a company that does automation in custom modules for smaller warehouses that are not pre-built for the sake of automation. So it's a
Uh-huh.
lot of custom jobs kind of deal.
Good deal.
Yeah. Pretty.
So, fun fact, my semester just got a lot more. I'm gonna have to talk to real people that do real work, unfortunately. Um,
Ew, real people?
yeah, so you know those two theoretical projects I was working on that were like, oh, neat, look at this little
Yeah.
integral project.
How
So
are
first
those
things
going?
first, we're getting an industry mentor for the theoretical project, the design project, and they are genuinely interested in reducing their wastewater amounts. So we probably won't be designing them a plant. We will probably be giving them advice
Yup.
about
Okay.
what they should do
It's,
to reduce their wastewater, what kind of systems they can look at investing
look,
in.
user end is an important part of the game.
Bro, this project was supposed to be theoretical.
Well, now it's now it's applicable.
Now an
They
actual company wants to
Yeah.
they
wants our
heard
advice.
you were stocking toasters and they wanted in.
No, this is the other project. This is the other project.
Ocean is
So
here.
I see.
Ocean.
Yes.
But
Oh,
that
Ocean, you're
project.
here.
But apparently the 11th, they want. Apparently, like the 11th, someone wants to look at the data we've collected and make assumptions about the houses that were constructed to see if they are worthwhile homes.
This
Like
seems a
the
bit
three
above your
hunter
pay
homes.
grade. Are
Yeah.
you getting paid for any of this?
No, no, we're paying them. In fact, the university's paying them like 150 bucks theoretically. But anyway, the point is, they basically what they want to do is we have collected data over the past month or so on the use of various circuits in the home, right? How much energy they draw, when they draw power, that kind of stuff. Um, and basically, apparently, a group that is doing work with the reservation that maybe like wants to sponsor them doing more work with like these hunters' homes they built for the homeless to house people, is interested in whether or not it's a worthwhile like endeavor building these homes. And part of that is comparing the quality of life inside the homes with the cost of living, and part of that is electricity bills. So like, how much does it cost to heat them versus how like comfortable are the residents in the homes? Which is something that we don't have information on. Uh, but we have part of that information, and someone wants to look at our data, which means we have to make our data not shit. That's mislabeled.
Unfortunately, that means you have to make it corporate pretty.
Hmm.
Not even corporate pretty. Corporate pretty would be fine. We have to make it government pretty,
Oh God.
That's worse.
because this is for people this is for a company that wants to give a grant to the reservation. I think.
take it from someone who's worked for the government, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yep.
plan was that we'd have to write
Yeah.
a paper at the end of this, right? Like it would just be, oh, the big project is at the end we write a paper and we give them our suggestions for whether or not we think this system would be good, and if so, what a good hydrogen storage system would look like for them. Apparently, there's now a lot of other things that are happening in the interim that they want our data for. So,
Well,
we'll see what
Good.
happens.
best of luck.
Bro, you want to look at a man's electricity?
Oh god.
No,
I'll show
no,
you.
please no.
You want to see
Please,
secure
please
data?
no. Wait, you can get in a lot of trouble for sharing that.
If
No,
only if they
not
find
particularly.
out.
This isn't classified data. This isn't like government. This is our personal data for our project.
Oh, yeah, then you can do whatever. I still don't want to see it, but I guess you can.
You want to look at
You
a
want to
man?
help stalk a man's toaster?
We will stalk that man's toaster so hard. He won't have any fucking idea what his toaster is doing. We will.
We'll hack his Samsung smart fridge.
He done got one of those. To be honest.
No.
Well,
Man lives in a 400 square foot home. It's not of a Samsung smart fridge.
You could fit a smart fridge in there. It's
These
not
were
a
built.
it's not a
These were
space.
built to house homeless people. The guy does not have a smart fridge.
It's homeless, not fridgeless.
Buddy, I know. He's homed now. I don't think his home came
Right.
with a smart fridge, and I don't think he would have.
You-
I was there like a
well,
month ago. I don't think he had
and
invested in a smart fridge.
now he can put a smart fridge in it.
Doesn't have
I
the
don't see the
power for.
problem.
My friend, I've seen his circuit breaker. He does not have the power for a smart fridge.
Well, fix it so that you can get that man a smart fridge. Anyway, D&D.
Yes.
something like that, yeah.
Jesus Christ. On to the more important thing.
Yep.
The reason we are all here today.
Sorry about that. I had to.
To get absolutely smashed. Anyway,
Yeah.
does
That's
anyone
after the
remember
game.
when last we left our heroes?
Oh fuck.
We encountered some
I'm
skeleton.
back.
Skellyman, do you need a recap?
You're best at recaps.
Shall I?
Sure.
Go off, King.
Okay, so we continued on the road after what had happened last time. We discussed various things. Dworbos finally got attunement with his weapon on the way into the city. On the way in, he figured out that it was a weapon made to slay mages. It has several effects. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's generally just kind of.
It's a mage disruptor. If I hit a mage while they're in concentration, they automatically drop or break concentration.
Which is very good effect. Yeah. He
I will
seems to
have to let Pancake know if I roll a 20 though.
D20, yeah. Nat 20 on the roll. But generally, you unlock the secrets of that weapon, and all seemed well with it. It seems to have stopped fighting you for the most part. With that, we continued on our way. We found out that there were skeletons along the road. There were two of them doing weird circles around each other, and they seemed to have some kind of magic. They were also notably wearing the armor of the Knights of the Crown, which is remarkably similar to Becklin, because she was also a Knight of the Crown when she was alive. She's not anymore, we're pretty sure. We saw some footsteps leading off into kind of like a wooded area, but we decided against to follow because our main job was to get this gnome back to town. We headed off back to the town and arrived. We met with the counselor, the counselor lead delivered the gnome to them, and they went off to have a conversation. And then we went over to Lady Perth for our payment and to kind of update everything that happened. We told her the information we had gotten about the potential of the Blue Army being out there somewhere. We introduced them to Ajan, my character, who had been with us but not done it. Who had been with us but not on that kind of initial section because he was asleep and passed out. And we all got paid 5 gold and 5 silver, I believe it was, divided between all of us. 5 gold, 5 silver each, except for Mike, who they were talking about getting back there.
We were negotiating.
Yeah, you were negotiating. But yeah, we each got 5 gold and 5 silver, which I have to write down on my sheet, actually. But yeah, so we got paid for our job, which was nice, and we're told where we could find the housing that we were kind of promised. It was a small tavern that goes by I forget what the exact name was. Someone remember?
Tavern.
The inn we were staying at. Inn Tavern.
The lodging that we got
Wanderer's
compensated
Rest.
by the government.
The what half?
The Wanderer's Rest.
The Wanderer's Rest. So we all, after that, it was kind of after sunset, so we had passed through the town. It seemed like they were carting out supplies to it. We got in, we deposited kind of all the gear that we had borrowed, including like the horses and cart, and decided to head over to the Wanderer's Rest to get some rest. We went in. It was a nice place, kind of generally friendly atmosphere. We talked to, I believe it was the Centaur behind the bar, who then left us with the bartender that we had known from the town we were originally in, Vogner. Apparently his coffee is a hit in town. He's doing all right. He gave everyone things. They remarked about how apparently Ajan had gone on a massive bender in the few days he had been passed out. So he woke up, went on a bender, then passed back out while we were doing various things in the city and aligned with the council.
They weren't happy.
He apparently drank all the rum in town, and while he didn't like break the rules, like people were generally kind of wary or upset with him for his behavior, being a drunk rowdy pirate hunter.
Get it right. Anyway,
I said pirate hunter. Drunk rowdy pirate
Got there in
hunter.
the end.
But yeah, so he did that, but he just kind of got an ale. I think you just got an ale. Agreed not to drink all of the rum in town anymore. And because they needed for other customers, and I think we turned into the night. At the end, I tried to talk to most of the characters, just kind of get various thoughts. I asked Dwarvos about the history of dwarves. Talked to Ajan a bit. I forget about exactly what.
just about
Writing.
feelings.
Yeah,
Yes.
feelings and writing. Yeah.
Yes.
You finished learning how to write.
Yes.
Yay!
I can read and write now.
Congrats. You can read and write at a first grade level.
Yeah.
Yep.
I told you about the whole composing a letter thing about your feelings not addressed to anyone, and you did that, and then kind of crumpled it up into a ball, although it took you quite a while to write it.
Yes.
And you seem to feel better about that. I then asked Dwarvos a bit about the history of the dwarves and any advice on attuning, and tried to attune again, and while I'm getting there, I'm not quite there yet. Twint was hanging around. He has found, notably, one of the helmets that he got from the undead, and while he wound up giving it up to Lady Press so she could examine it, he's kind of wants the helmet back. So he may at some point investigate doing that.
I might.
We all
I
had
don't know.
pretty good fish for dinner.
Also, Y gave me a break and instead gave Dwarvos
Yeah.
some time.
Y is kind of moving
Don't
around.
worry, she had a little bit of yeah, it was something.
Giving everyone some existentialism, Spreading the love and the existentialism around a little bit. As is good company. So, at that...
Existential
Tradition.
for you. A little
So,
existential
yeah.
for you.
I don't know that we did anything else too important. Ajan mentioned that he was potentially interested in swearing with the council, but I don't know that he did that. And getting some back pay for the work that he already did on this job. But we had reported pretty much all of the details that we had found, all of our theories about that to Earth, about the undead, and about the bugbear attack, and how the bugbear was a shapeshifter, or a changeling, and has gotten away. Although I don't know that we told them the details that they were related to Ajan's past.
You did not.
Okay. But yeah, for the most part we did that, and I think that was pretty much everything. We had just kind of quiet session, a lot of talking, wound up at the Wanderer's Rest.
Yep.
Turning in for the night.
Just real quick, you guys, before we get started, I feel like shit. I'm tired. Don't expect me to be making too many decisions, okay?
You're fine, man.
You'll be fine.
Good.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Just vibe.
Alright.
Dwarvo's
So,
having a pretty good day. He's okay. He's good to chill.
Dwarvos, go take a
Pancake
spa
opens
day.
up the session, horrible nightmares on everyone's character.
Yes! Alright. So, to begin with, the day is going to start at about 6 a.m.
Cool.
You know you're expected to be back at Castle Calaman at about 9 a.m. for your next slate of tasks. And I probably forgot to mention this last session, but Perth was supposed to tell you that you are being given more free reign in the tasks that you actually take. So you're basically going to be presented with the slate of here's everything we need done, pick and choose.
Cool.
And you have about 3 hours with which to occupy yourselves until you are expected at the castle. That doesn't mean you can't go early.
Hmm.
And you have a city before you.
Oh.
Iriata is up before everybody else and has gone on a morning round. Unless someone would like to join her. But that's generally the plan.
Where is Iriata going?
Would I be able to see if they're...
Hmm.
Would I be able to see if there's a blacksmith shop?
There is, and it's owned by a lovely couple
Yeah.
and their children.
So I'm gonna see if if they maybe if they're maybe up and running because I have a request.
Alrighty. So the blacksmiths are the primary blacksmiths in the city that aren't farriers or cart workers or shipwrights. Are the Hammerstrike forges in the North Quarter.
Oh.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah, go ahead.
it's very easy to find directions. Basically, anyone is going to point you in that direction if they've been in the city for more than a few days. And it's said they do commission work, but it can be kind of expensive depending on what you want. But they are the only specialty blacksmiths in the city that don't work directly for Castle Caladan.
Mm. Like a little mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
Something like.
Not so little,
Alright.
but yeah.
Okay.
It's
Massive
not massive,
industrial
but
mom and pop.
they've got some shit going.
Okay.
Yep. So, approaching from the south, there are 2 buildings, one on either side of the road. Both are the same typical gray stone of Caladan, but one of them, the one on the right, is kind of draped with red awnings. It's fairly well shaded, and there's this quiet, rhythmic humming coming from it that's in tune with a whole bunch of hammer strikes. Just very disciplined, very orderly noises coming from the right. From the left is what you would probably imagine a tinker shop to sound like if it were staffed entirely by kobolds. Just so much noise and chaos that it's almost impossible to make out the one very, very loud voice that is yelling directions. Not angrily, just really loud.
Wow.
All right. Sounds like a blacksmith shop. A very industrial one.
The shop on the left has a large great axe hanging over the door, kind of gently swinging like a pendulum. It's obviously dull and decorative, it's just menacing at first glance. And then the one on the right just has a bunch of suits of armor variously arrayed in kind of a semicircle outside the door, underneath of the awning.
All right. So I'm gonna kind of like step in and what's going on? Like, do I see anyone like actually like working, or is it they
Which
still just
building?
kind of opening up? The main blacksmith area.
You have left and right, they're equally made. One is armor, one is weapons.
Then weapons.
Okay.
Good luck.
Well,
Weapons. The one on the left.
yeah. Well, this one may kind of bridge the gap a little bit.
Okay.
You'll see.
Okay, fair enough. So it is staffed with children who are all bustling about from hither and yon and just kind of ducking in and scurrying around each other with armfuls of bright hot metal. Most of them are tieflings. There are a couple of dwarf kids you see running around. And in the back, manning the main forge, hammering happily away and occasionally yelling instructions to the kids, is a 7-foot-tall brick of a man with a large white beard, shaved head, and his beard is kind of smoldering from the heat. He looks up at you, just waves as you walk in. Howdy! Watch the kids! And as he says that, one of them just bolts between your legs.
Okay. Oh, okay. Morning.
Morning, what do you need?
I was looking for a potential commission if you were interested.
Fair enough. I'll hear you out. Come on over here, so you're out of the way.
Okay, all right. Just step my way through the kids.
It's like a radius around him that none of the kids are entering. That's about the length of his hammer swing.
All right, I guess that's parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have a very interesting request. If you'd be willing to be a little experimental with me.
All right, I'll hear you out.
All right. So when it comes to arms, I usually keep it pretty light. I kind of like hold up my fists and elbows a little bit. I mostly use this, but I've found that I've been fighting a lot of people with some very heavy armor. I was wondering if you could come up with maybe some sort of gauntlet or castus of some sort that I could use to bolster this a little bit.
He looks you up and down for a second while continuing to hammer out the axe that he's working on. Looks like a regular wood axe for the most part, just big wood maul.
You got some beautiful handiwork there.
Appreciate it. You, sir, are a monk. I'm assuming not battlefield, ocean. You fight on ships. Pirate hunter, yeah?
You're familiar with the trade.
It's a sailor town.
You seen my kind before?
A few. You stand like them.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It usually is.
Well,
So you're looking to fight armor these days, eh?
yep. Just something that might be able to help me punch through. I used to think I had some pretty tough fists, but looks like there's some tougher materials out there than I was expecting.
Well, I reckon I might be able to help you. Brass knuckles, Kaistus, hard fist, I could do any of those. If you're looking for anything more precise, anything more like a glove, you might want to go check with Kyle across the street. Or, well, I mean, you check with Henlo, but Henlo will send you to Kyle. The kid's name is Kyle.
Kyle. Well, in reality, it's something that it's not just my fists, and I kind of like point to like the callus that I have on like my fists, my elbows, my knees, and my legs. So it's a bit of a kit.
I reckon what you're after might look a bit more like armor than what I do around here.
It's pretty fair.
Probably a little bit too technical for the tykes. And as he says that, a child just full-on jumps over you, like running in the rafters of the building, pulling a whole bunch of sand out of bags and dumping it down into the sand pit, where he proceeds to basically just drop the red-hot chunk of metal and quench it by dumping oil on top of it.
It's quite a daycare you're running here.
They're good kids. That's why they're
All
here.
yours?
Yes, sir. Every one of them.
So, parenting. All it's cracked up to be?
Most days, it's worth it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go.
Interesting question for a sailor. You looking to settle down?
Not exactly. But just my curiosity. But anyway, thank you for your help. I'm going to go check out that friend of yours.
Yep.
Appreciate your time and keep up the good work. I'm just going to
Kind of chuckle. He just kind of chuckles when you say that. Ask for Henrik.
All right. I will go ask for Henrik.
All right. Forge across the street is a stark contrast to the just utter chaos you were operating in on the other one. This one is both quieter and more organized. Rather than being a half a dozen kids scurrying around Forge, it's 3 look like teenagers, one kind of older young adult, all also tieflings, all different colors. There isn't like one through line of genealogy here. They're very obviously adopted. But this is where the older kids practice, and they are far more precise, far more rhythmic. They're all sort of humming a work song as they go. And not at the back of the shop, but at the front of this shop is yet another large man. He's only about 6 feet tall. Dark skin, braided beard, braided hair, sort of sitting behind the counter. He looks up when you come in. Oh there.
Morning. I
Morning.
was hoping for a potential commission.
What can we do for you?
I was looking to bolster some of my more. I'm not really a weapons guy. I mostly kind of fight hand to hand. I was wondering if I could potentially commission you guys for a kit that might help me with armor, punching through armor, so to speak.
I see. Might be able to fit you something like that. Cost you a bit, though.
What range are we talking?
So I personally do not know what your measurements are, but he basically spouts off your muscle and torso and arm measurements just fully right by looking at you. And you're going to want those iron or hardened. You're going to want them pretty well tempered. You're looking to punch through armor, I'm assuming, not just dent it.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the chrome. It's for a pair of gauntlets or something like that would normally be about 7 to 10. Probably your size would be closer to 8 gold for a pair.
Well, let's see. Currently on me, I have. Hold on. Let me just double check to make sure I got that right. Currently, I have a grand total of 2.
My man, why do you only have 2?
Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong character sheet. 15. I have 15.
This is fair. Looking for boots, pauldricks, anything else to go with them? Just gloves, sleeves? What are you
I kind of show like the callus like that I have like on my body. I'm like something to sort of, for these spots here. So like a pair of shin guards, gauntlets, and I kind of just he's like, bear with me on this.
He just pulls out a wax tablet and a stylus and starts sketching as you're talking.
So, there's an old style of rap that my people used to use, which is actually, I don't know if you guys would be able to do this, but a hardened form of rope that you wrap around your extremities. Unfortunately, the people that used to make them are all dead or missing. So I was hoping I could maybe commission you to something of that nature.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Were you looking to make them out of leather or proper metal?
Well, I was hoping that you could potentially maybe like studded rope almost.
Might be. And he's going to kind of lead you down the technical design rabbit hole, asking all sorts of questions until he eventually produces a sketch that is not exactly, but it's something like what you're describing. Basically, boxing tape reinforced with strips of iron.
Yeah. I'm like, that's basically what I was looking for.
And base material: linen, cotton, leather. Just a question of how hard you want it to be to keep up.
just something well treated. Um, you know, a leather weave of some kind.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah, I'm basing this off of a homebrew item from like the homebrew class I'm using.
Mhm.
I just sent you the description of it. It just makes my punches a little more punchy. That's it.
Okay. He can do that. What are you looking specifically to get out of this? Are you looking for an increased armor class or just damage?
Damage.
Okay. All right, fair enough. He can definitely do something like that. Might not be necessarily that powerful right off the bat, but
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah.
and again, he's kind of nodding along. He actually gives you a couple of sketches to choose from, and one of them's a bit closer to what you're looking for than the others. So, never done anything quite like this. I can ballpark you at about 12, maybe 15 gold, but it might be more expensive depending on what we run into while making it. Probably about 3 days.
Um, okay. Um, I should be able to. It'll be tight, but I think I should be able to just about afford that.
I can't give you a solid price till I've made it and figured out exactly how much a material is going to go into this.
That's fair. That's fair. I I have 15 currently, but I'll be coming into some more money soon. So, um, you know,
Fair enough.
trust that I'll get it. I trust that I'm good for it.
Not that I don't trust you, but I might need a down payment on this.
How much for the down payment?
Say 7. Split difference.
All right then. And I hand it over.
All right. He takes it. He gets to sketching. He kind of calls. Actually, he calls Kyle over, and it turns out Kyle is a bright red tiefling with kind of a one horn kind of swirly off to the left. They start leaning over and designing. He keeps asking you some basic questions, but eventually it becomes obvious that they are now engrossed in the process of figuring out how to do this thing. Then at some point in the process, you are handed effectively a receipt written on like charcoal on white linen. Come back at this time.
Neato.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much uh for your service.
Thank
I'll
you.
make sure that. Yeah, thank you for your time and all your good work.
Yep. You have a nice day.
You too. I'm just gonna kind of stroll out and get ready to meet with everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Mm. I think I want to go out into the camp with all the refugees from Volkner,
Mm-hmm.
just to check on people.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, the shanty town is well underway, so a lot of people are no longer living in tents or run-down linen huts.
Mm.
Councilor Merrill is still standing out, overseeing the kind of short wagon train of goods. And she's no longer wearing a big puffy coat. She's instead just in a kind of regular looking cloak. It's actually almost really hard to pick her out of the crowd as she's floating in and amongst the people. You see Raven following her, discussing logistics, fairly well embroiled in conversation. Anyone in particular you're looking for?
Not really. Just checking in
All
on
right. Would you kindly roll me a d6?
it. Mm. Okay. 1d6. A 4.
Alrighty. After wandering around a bit, you spot two familiar faces, actually. Hector and Jean both are helping construct a new hut, as Hector is once again driving nails with his hand, and every so often just kind of stopping to shake himself out. Jean is just sort of standing there, holding a hammer, looking confused for a few minutes before he starts also pounding nails in. He sees you and waves you over. Hey, kid.
Hey.
How's things?
They are about as chaotic as they could possibly be. Now that we're out of
Sounds
war.
about right. You're interrupted by a loud crack as Hector accidentally whacks a board too hard, and the end just kind of explodes.
Haha.
Dang it!
You alright there?
So, yeah, I'm fine. Stupid softwood. He just rips the board off and starts trying to put another one on before realizing he has to take the nails out that he already put in.
Oh no.
He is not a master carpenter.
No.
Jean, on the other hand, seems fairly confident in what he's doing, and he is amicably talking as he works. You're working for the city now, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Paying well.
So far.
Good to hear. Glad they're keeping you. Here, you helped us get the new digs.
The what?
New digs.
Oh, the cloak.
He's gesturing to the huts.
Oh. Yeah. Looks like you're having a time.
I've put up with enough hard heads in my time. He's doing alright.
Yeah.
You are just a grumpy old man, and you are an idiot, but you don't hear me complaining. Well, glad you found something to do with yourself. How are things looking out there?
I mean, the usual army of some odd of random enemies.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds about right for the day.
Yeah.
Meet anyone new and interesting?
A gnome girl. Apparently she's the inventor of some type of siege weapon.
I know the type.
Yeah.
He's got kind of a faraway look at his one good eye as he is continuing to set boards and pound nails without even really looking at them. Hector has basically just kind of slapped boards up and thrown nails into them. Every single end and every single corner that Jean is laying without paying much attention is perfectly square. He's even beveled the edges so they come to a point. Looks like it might be watertight without actually tarring it.
And Hector is slapdash at best.
Yes. He's doing his best, which is not very good.
Apparently not.
Man, just smish.
Yeah, pretty much.
God. How did that man make ships?
That's a good question.
Jesus.
with hopes and dreams.
I don't think this man can dream.
You know, back in my day, as John goes off on a tangent, we used to actually build as opposed to just filling in with tar and feathers. Yeah, well, back then it used to take longer, and I'm better at this than you. As the board immediately falls off, having he has forgotten to nail it in.
No.
Case in point, kid. Case in point.
Hmm. Oh boy.
Oh well, things are pretty uneventful. We've got food now, shelter eventually.
Eventually.
You know, it's going all right.
Yeah. Mm.
You got a place to stay?
Apparently there's a government housing, like an inn type thing.
Good. Glad you got a roof over your head. I worry about your kids sometimes.
Mm. Apparently so does everyone else.
Well, not for nothing, but I'm 50 years old and a veteran, and you are 12, 13? Hard to tell with halflings.
True. I forget
No.
how old am I?
I think older than that.
Let me check my old
Old meter.
No.
One of the only games in history to have an age meter.
I'm gonna have to look at my old character sheet. The one I can't fucking use anymore.
I mean, you could probably just tell him something, he'd believe you.
I don't remember.
It's alright. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Apparently I'm 13.
Good for you making it this far.
Yeah.
If you weren't before, you are now.
Jesus,
Welcome to being a child.
Mm-hmm.
We are traveling with a literal child.
2 of them.
Apparently, I was originally gonna go younger, but I decided not to.
So I convinced you not to.
Yeah.
That was maybe wise, yeah.
You were wanting to go like 10 or 11. Like, dude, that is really fucking young.
Probably would have come with more story beats if I did.
You're never too young to murder and adventure away.
I know, right?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just gonna kind of keep engaging you in conversation like that for a little while.
Okay.
Eventually, after about half an hour, he's got his entire wall done, perfectly straight, square. He's working on another one. Hector has managed 3/4 of his wall, and you can see straight through it.
Oh no.
However, you also notice that someone, either by pure luck or by someone stationing him there, he's also working on the leeward side, so it's not going to, like, leak wind and rain constantly.
So someone on the other side's fixing his mistakes. Great.
He'll be
It'd be an
fine.
easier time if he just used tools instead of punching wood.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's occurred to him yet.
Nah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Thus be the camp.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Checking my Baker family.
Right, fair enough. They're easy enough to find, as they have occupied one of the smaller huts near the edge of camp around where the big bonfire is. And they haven't necessarily turned it into a bake shop, but they are doing their best to build like little clay ovens and just distribute bread to everybody, being made out of the... They're not selling, but they are, they've got like a little studio going where they're teaching people how to make bread in these tiny little ovens.
Yeah.
That you can make with like little coals and whatnot.
Fun.
Rana looks up and there is a... How do I describe it? There is a moment of parental horror on her face as she locks eyes with you, and then you are swallowed in a hug by someone just a couple inches taller than you.
Oh.
As she doesn't tackle you so much as she grabs you like a teddy bear and just picks you up. Oh, you gods, I'm so glad you're still safe. Hadn't seen you in so long, since the evacuation. Are you okay? Are you eating?
Yes.
Where are you staying?
I got government housing because I'm working for the city at the moment.
She's like, very obviously not listening to what you're saying. Good. I'm glad to hear that. She shoves a loaf of bread in your face. Eat.
Okay. I guess I would be hungry because I didn't get breakfast on my way out, so...
Probably. Your glance kind of makes eye contact with you over the person who is attempting to knead bread in front of her, and she's kind of shrugs.
Oh boy.
And I'm not going to make you do it if you don't want to, but what she is going to make Twint do is she's going to sit you down next to the fire and make you tell her literally everything that has happened in the last 5 days since she's seen you.
Sure.
I wouldn't. You'd give this poor woman a heart attack.
I would give her a heart attack, wouldn't I?
Maybe.
Probably.
How much you tell her is up to you.
Maybe ease up on some of the details.
Some of the violent murder and undead.
Yeah.
And then we found skeletons, and I wore one of their helmets.
Oh, and I took their skull and takes it out of his bag.
Did I give the skull away to someone? I don't remember.
No, you still have the skull.
You still have it.
As far as I know, you still have the skull.
I thought...
She asked for the helmet, not the skull.
Yeah, that's true. I thought I gave
could have
this...
given her both.
I thought I gave the skull to the council guy when I...
I think you just asked to see it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I tell her as much as I remember.
Alright.
Do you
dear.
know all the details?
Sure.
Oh no.
Hey,
Would you kindly roll me intelligence to see how much you remember in the face of this parental onslaught?
So a d20 plus 2?
Sure.
Okay.
Enroll the bones.
1d20. Shift.
I don't know if I want high or low here. Both would be really funny.
Seven. Fuck.
Alright. So you remember the murderous clockwork stuff that you had to put up with dealing with to, actually go retrieve the gnome. You forget to tell her that you are in fact employed by the government, and you neglect to mention the undead. But you do in detail recount the story of Laika getting the ever-loving crap beaten out of her
Oh no.
by a shape-shifting bugbear.
And then she got punched, and then she got punched again, and then kicked.
And she got hit in the face with this big metal thing.
And then she finally dropped that glaive she was trying to use and kicked the absolute shit back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's just every so often flickers of horrified realization fly past her expression, but she's mostly preoccupied with just making sure you're not dead so she's not really paying attention to you. She's doing like, "Oh, that's nice, dear," as she like cleans up your face and straightens your clothes.
Like off-mindedly, yeah, she definitely got kicked. Her shit kicked in. Yeah, totally.
100%.
And I got shot with an arrow.
At that point, she does stop you. What?
I mean, we have a healer on our team, but yeah.
And they let children do this.
Mm.
The whole damn team is children except the damn healer.
Ogmon's, I think, like 20.
Yup.
I think he's an adult. Enough.
He's 30.
Hardly.
Mm.
Oh, Ogmon's 30? He's fine.
Which,
He's also a
okay,
half-elf, so I don't think that counts.
No, he's
No.
a full elf. So
And that really
right.
doesn't count.
Absolutely doesn't count. You're a teenager, my friend.
So, Ogmon is
I'm-
mentally 14.
Maybe 14 to 16, probably.
And he shall remain 16 for the next 20 years.
Mm.
Yeah, something like that.
not only that, I'm not even quite sure when I was actually born. It's all a ballpark.
Yeah.
You're
Again.
about yay old.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, I'm somewhere between 30 and 50. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's less listening to you and more ranting about the state of things if they're letting children get shot these days. That's kind of her hill to die on now.
It was just a little bit of being shot, and I agreed to it.
Yeah, and I shot them back.
Yeah. I shot the ever-loving fuck out of him.
So yeah, you are going to be inescapably preened over for at least an hour.
Okay.
If there is anything particular you would like her to know in that time. Otherwise, that's just going to happen, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, yeah. This is normal.
This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Bread mom for the win.
Yes.
Who's next?
Oh my god, it's amazing. People generally concerned with your well-being and where you've been.
Mm-hmm.
That wild. Twin, isn't this great?
I will find someone to worry over you.
Leica, you're next.
Alright. A bag was just past me, so okay. Sure. I was going to go and see if I could head over to Rick's shop.
Okay.
Actually, first, I had inquired about something, Brain. I also inquired about, like, trying to seek some training for the glaive that I had with, Lady Perth. I don't think I got an answer. I think she said she would look into it.
Okay.
So I assume that wouldn't be ready today. So, yeah, I'm gonna head over to Rick's shop.
Alright. She's not immediately in evidence, but the door is open and unlocked, and the little bell over the door rings as you enter. And there is, behind the counter, sort of like front paws up on it, looking over at you, is a large sheepdog. Just panting, staring directly at you.
Just gonna give it a wave, look around. If I don't see Rick's, just kind of walk up to the counter.
It just gives this really low woof kind of bark.
Hi, dog. Kind of. Does it look friendly?
It isn't growling or anything, it's just kind of panting, staring at you. Big black and white sheepdog.
Gonna kind of reach out and see if the dog wants to be pet, I guess. Kind of approach it.
He's fine with it.
Just kind of pet the dog for a bit.
As he luxuriates in the petting, the door opens behind you and you hear very distinct, measured footsteps. Ah, you have found Henry, have you?
If this is him, then yes.
Mm. He is supposed, as she leans over you, staring him in the eyes, he's just completely blissfully unaware, to be a guard dog.
No.
Perhaps he could use a bit more training in that, but he seems very nice otherwise.
And no
It
one's going to
would
want to
seem
invade.
so.
I mean, you can just play with them.
Well, he wasn't a waste of money, but I sometimes wonder.
I'm sure it's nice having some company around.
Company, yes. You hear that? She's complimented you, and what do you say in response? He just kind of goes, woof. Lays his head on the counter. Were you here for anything specific?
Well, I wanted to update you, like I said I would, about what I found, how my training has been going, and I had some questions I was hoping to ask. Nothing too major or urgent, just curiosity.
Ask away.
First things first, I'm going to take out my book, the various identification records I've done, and just kind of go over what I found, how I've been using the spell. I've been trying to figure out everything.
Uh-huh.
And then the question was, I noticed in one of my investigations, the first one actually, and I'm going to kind of point to when I was in the room with the wall.
Okay.
If you know the wall I'm talking about in Lady Purse's office.
Yes. The magical mystical wall of seeing.
Maybe leaking classified documents right now. Not sure. Don't.
Possibly.
The character doesn't know that.
This character has no concept of governmental compliance.
Or classification. Yeah, I'm used to just walking into buildings and kind of looking around.
Yep.
I had noticed in a lot of my investigation that everything seems to be covered in back of a letter word runes, kind of markings and things, like the letters you used to teach me.
Indeed.
I was wondering if I could know more about them, kind of learn to read them myself. It seems to be
Well,
the part of
I seem to recall giving you a primer course on that several years ago. As you have no doubt forgotten in your studies, runes are the basis of all arcane magic. There are how many kinds of magic?
3.
It just looks at you expectantly while petting the dog. And they are?
Divine, Source, and Arcane.
Correct.
Sorry,
And
I
we
just took a
deal...
fucking bite of a chicken sandwich right before you asked that question.
Good. And what kind of magic is it that we, you and I, primarily deal with?
Arcane.
And what is the basis of arcane magic?
Derived from one's own will, using certain runes, magic, and technique to draw forth power from the weave with one's own intent.
Correct. Commonly colloquialized to the will and the word. Now, really, any word will do in, we'll say, an emergency. However, it has been formalized down to these runes, which have been passed down to us from our predecessors pre-cataclysm. That is because it is easier to teach as a second language than to have wizards wandering around willy-nilly casting fireball every single time they want to make dinner. You, I trust, kept the book of runes and primer that I gave you when we last engaged, some years ago, I believe.
I kind of fish it out of my bag.
Good. And has it served you?
It served pretty well, although I haven't found too much use for it. I only got this, and I kind of motioned to the new book that I've been carrying around recently, and for that had to kind of divert my intentions towards studying other things, more martial matters, to learn to defend myself.
He sort of gently pats you on the head. Now is a very good time to start again.
I very much hope to.
Was there anything else?
So I was curious somewhat of how you came to be here. And more specifically, I think as you mentioned, stuck here?
Ah, yes, that. That is a political matter, I'm afraid, more than a magical one. And quite boring besides, though frustrating. I was, we'll say, approached to become the envoy for the tower that they were hoping to establish here in Kalaman as the center of population, because the tower in Wayreth is, you might know, kind of out of the way for a lot of the primary populace of this region. However, I had only just begun my work when the tower decided it was going to cease all outward communication for the foreseeable future, and therefore I am stranded here until some idiot decides it is time to contact me and tell me I can leave or continue my work. Therefore, I started a shop as a means to keep myself occupied. Because I cannot and will not spend the rest of my life teaching magic to 12-year-old brats from the castle.
I can understand that. Just kind of like nods.
Looking at you.
You,
Hey,
my
I
dear,
paid
were
for my
mostly
education.
harmless, as all I had to do was offer you a fish and you would do practically anything I wanted. Royal brats from the governor's mansion are another matter entirely. One I will not put up with under any circumstances.
I will just comment at the implication that she trained me like a seal. I just don't show any kind of like regret or anything. Just like, yeah, totally, that's what
Yep,
happened.
100%.
In that case, if I do ever wind up making my way to the tower to take the test, would you like me to remind them that you're out here?
If they let you in, it would be greatly appreciated. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Well, I'll make sure if it ever does.
She just smiles in that very I appreciate the sentiment kind of way.
Oh, I had also been experimenting, if I could, with Source. I'm not sure it's been particularly fruitful, but it's given some interesting findings.
Yes, the trap of all young magicians. If you make some world-altering breakthrough into the lost art of Source, I would very much appreciate knowing about it. Just know that I don't hold much hope on that front.
Well, understanding is free, or at least attempting to. I don't need some big
It
breakthrough
is.
to try and learn more about it. But what I found, and I kind of go over the weird state I got into that one time, and how I've been kind of chasing after that,
Mhm.
and my theory that it may be instead of one's own will or some outside will like divine, the will of magic itself, and how I've been trying to practice that or trying to feel that through the meditation. How I noticed that I fought more kind of angrily and ecstatically when I was, excuse me, trying to focus on that, and the weird feeling of kind of being overwhelmed when I was looking, kind of peering into what was around me as opposed to myself.
Mhm. while she's listening to what you're saying, it's pretty clear that she's not really interested in the subject of fighting so much as she's more interested in making sure you're not getting yourself hurt.
Get mothered.
Just that very don't do anything stupid or I will make you regret it kind of way.
No, I made sure that I was doing so in an appropriate environment, sparring as opposed to any kind of real fight.
Good. You might keep it that way.
Of course. That would be rather
Listen.
foolish.
The truth
And,
is, Source has been lost for a very long time, to the point where its definition isn't properly understood or even agreed upon in many circles. And it is impossible to define and therefore impossible to control in a strictly arcane sense. The pursuit of it is not actively discouraged so much as it is seen as generally foolish.
well, I would more say I'm not trying to find Source or try and make some big discovery, more find what's new to me. What's something that I haven't found or explored, and I see no reason not to.
And you are always encouraged to do so.
Even if there is no grand reclaiming of something lost or some new art to be found.
Just do remember how much time and effort went into getting you to this point, and how much would be wasted should you do something foolish and throw it away.
I have no intention to die anytime soon. And she kind of like knocks on the counter, like knock on wood.
Very few of us do. See that you don't.
I have nod, say my goodbyes, and head out because at that point, probably I'm gonna go.
Fair enough. On the way out, the last thing you see of her is her attempting to lift the large dog and failing poorly as you realize it has been sitting in her chair this entire time. You just cannot lift the dog. And he seems content in his place.
You got this dog like 3 days ago, didn't she? I've been gone for like a total of 3 days.
Well, you didn't see it the last time you were here.
No, that doesn't mean she didn't have the dog, but there's all chances dog she's had it for like 3 days and is like, come on, guard dog, do a guard. Be a guard dog.
The possibility exists.
Alright. On to Ocean if he has.
Hi, Ocean.
Hello.
How's it going over there?
Chillin'.
Good.
Alright, so... My morning, huh? Jesus.
Yup.
He sleeps in.
Possibly.
No. Oh, possibly. Possibly a little bit. I don't know. But... I think I'm just gonna kind of wander to the city, take a morning walk.
Fair enough. In what general direction would you like to go?
Well, if you look at the map...
Uh-huh.
Where is it? It's in... Is it in the Oracle? No. Is there just a map of the city somewhere? Or are we looking at Roll20?
Generally in Roll20, because it was easier to navigate than having a terrible Discord map.
Yeah, that's understandable. I'm not even logged into that. Okay, so we are roughly north of the keep, or the yeah, you know what I mean.
You're in kind of the northwesternish quadrant, like the lower half of that.
So let's see now. Northwestern-ish. To the left. I'm playing this all by memory, but I think I got this pretty well off. Not too far off to the left is the blacksmith.
Uh-huh.
I know I stand out a little bit because I am slightly armed to the teeth and wearing full armor.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
It's fine. I'm sure no one feels threatened by that at all.
I mean, I feel like, well, okay, the city folk might not know me, but if anyone from our camp sees me, they're going to know exactly who I am. It's not going to be too much of an issue.
Yeah. Generally speaking.
I'm actually going to drop by the camp where we decided to set up and see how things are going over there, especially the last 2-3 days.
Fair enough. Anyone in particular you'd like to see?
Not particularly, just, checking on people, looking around a little bit, make sure everyone's housed, and seeing how, building of various, they're basically shacks, right? Glorified shacks.
Yeah, it's a shanty town. It's kind of the best they could do on short notice.
Fair enough, whatevs. People have a roof over their head, they have shelter from the wind. It's kind of nice to have.
Yep.
Mostly just checking around. Looking around. Not really talking to anyone in particular, checking in with anyone in particular. Is Raven also around?
Yes, she's mostly not terribly occupied, but she's mostly hanging around Councilor Merrill as they go over logistics and discuss the construction and supply of the town and what the villagers can do for the city in return. So by this time of morning, they're probably pretty close to the main campfire where Raven had her office last time you were here.
Got it. Which is now, I'm sure, a slightly larger shanty shack.
It's kind of a donut-shaped awning, really, with like walls on the oceanward side.
Interesting. Okay. So she's talking with Raven is talking with who?
Councilor Merrill, the tiefling from the council.
Counselor
You haven't talked to her yet, so you haven't really. I'm not expecting you to remember who that is, but she has been around for a bit.
Merrill, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually am gonna pop by a little bit and check up.
Alrighty.
Up in. Raven, how's it going? It's been a while.
Oh, John. Good to see you're safe.
I'm not Ajan.
You're right. I'm sorry. Provost. I don't know why my brain just did that. That's on me. I'm sorry.
I'm
Provost.
sorry if my voice, because I'm.
No, man, you're fine. That was me. I just spaced out for a second.
Did you just get it mixed up with a damn knife ear?
Yes.
I'm not that bad, damn.
So anyway, I apologize. She knows who you are, even if I don't.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Provost, it's good to see you're alive.
How dare you imply that he would have knife ears?
He has chopped ears.
Nice ears.
Good to see you guys are doing pretty well over here as well.
Well, as well as we can.
Yeah. By the way, it's Counselor Merrill?
Uh-huh.
Counselor Merrill, I don't believe we officially spoken more on more of a one-on-one.
We haven't had the pleasure. She was sitting. She kind of stands up, curtsies a bit, and then sits back down.
How's things going over here?
Perhaps as well as can be expected.
That's good. Is everyone getting what they need for the most part? Things are decently stable?
That is indeed the challenge. By which she means it's difficult to sort out what people really need versus what they just want, and what should and must be a priority.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But that is the work we're doing.
Okay. Any like major hiccups, or has it been pretty smooth so far?
Well, the blowhard Bacaris finally moved out of camp, found some fancy place in town, so we haven't heard from him in a couple of days. That's been really nice.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice since we kind of chased him out of the council room. That was kind of funny.
It was quite satisfying to watch.
I also do apologize for shouting over everyone when we first showed up. I felt a little bit necessary.
Meryl just kind of serenely smiles in reply, completely impassive. The expression just, yeah, what must be done must be done.
This is true.
You have a high enough passive insight. I'm just going to tell you, you have never in your life seen a more just empty expression on someone's face. Like, she's not stupid, but the way she chooses to present herself is possibly the most airheaded blank stare you have ever seen.
Oh no.
Just nice clothes, very nice hair, completely placid smile on her face. Expression almost never changes. She is just made of poise.
I don't know how to feel about that.
However you choose to feel about it, that's the character.
Fair enough. So how's things over on your end, Raven?
Busy. Eternally busy.
Yeah, I can tell. Sun up to sundown, I'm assuming?
Yup.
Yup.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Nobody's died yet.
Well, that's preferred, generally.
Indeed, it is. Certainly so. And yours? How's work for the city?
Oh, it's been kind of an experience. It's been alright, though. We get sent off to a journey, was it south, was it? Or was it west?
It was generally southwest.
Okay.
So
We got sent off to onto a journey southwest. Took us 2 days to get back. But we picked up one of those gnome tinkerers to help out, which was kind of interesting.
Fair enough. Think there'll be any help?
Well, probably. I only worry a little bit because they were actually the one. Remember the fire cannon? The really, really, really big one? Hard to forget.
She left early. Remember, you and her left early.
Oh.
From the village.
Do you remember? Well, I don't know if you were told, but there was. We left at the same time, but the others filled me in. There was a large fire cannon that was used to set basically the whole city on fire. That dwarf built it.
No.
And we're sure she can be trusted.
Yeah, because she described it as a weeding device. They're a little bit she's a little bit gullible.
Oh. What?
Yeah. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far. Pays half decent. And we met a changeling. That was kind of fun.
You veterans aren't fazed by much, are you?
No. Not really, no.
Fair enough.
But yeah. Yeah, goblins, undead, weird stuff. It just all goes together.
I have no idea how you people do it. I don't think I want to know.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm old. I like to consider myself middle-aged. Once you hear enough stories and see enough things, it's too bad.
From the human in the room, you're pretty old.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're still standing after all that.
Yeah.
I don't envy you the task.
I don't blame you. It was certainly a task.
Sounds like it.
You've been stuck here? Not really been able to do anything?
Stuck maybe isn't the word that I'd choose. I have been working here. Keeping things not under control, but from lighting themselves on fire, certainly.
That's understandable. Have you had time to go up to the city and explore a little bit? Take a look around?
No time, and frankly not really interested. It's a bigger place than I'm comfortable with.
Understandable. They've got quite a lot of things.
Yeah, Meryl has been more than accommodating, but I would rather not.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If nothing else, it'd be bad form to take a day off while I'm still responsible for the safety of the citizens.
It might be some time before you have free time on your hands, shall I put it? Or spare time.
Yeah, I'm not counting on it.
I wouldn't either. Looks like Twins found his family as well, his friends.
Oh, yeah. She looks over to where you're still being doted on. He might be there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, but...
She's a little bit of a brood hen.
A little bit, but looks like the bread, I think, makes people a little bit happy.
I want to throw a knife
Indeed.
at you.
It's good to see and quite helpful. Good for morale to keep people busy, if nothing else.
It's true, yeah.
Well, back to it, I suppose. Good to see you.
Probably.
Thanks
Good
for
to see you as
stopping
well. Would you like me to grab you anything next time? Before next time I come over here? Next time I drop by?
A stiff drink.
How stiff are we talking?
Not something that's going to punch a hole in my gut, if that's what you're thinking.
Okay, human levels. Yeah, that's no problem.
Preferably, yes. I am, in fact, human.
Yes.
Merely.
That's a very important question. When it comes to dwarves, stiff drink is quite different.
Yup.
Anyways, good talking to you.
And you too. Stay safe.
Yep, will do. And I head back up towards the keep.
Ready. Ishi run into Iriata on the way back. She appears to have made a full lap of the entire quarter by this point. Oh, hey. Good to see you.
Oh, how's things?
Wide and far. It's good.
How far did you run?
For running. Oh, to the that's our library and back. It's a good jog.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Around the dock a couple of times. It's real cool to see him working on the ships. Didn't spend much time there myself. Growing up.
Yeah. Feels a little bit homely, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It was a nice change of pace anyway, from, getting shot at or fighting the living dead.
Or getting stuck in a rundown house. Yeah, no, I agree.
Oh yeah. Figure that one went without saying.
Yeah, just a little bit.
The skeletons were a bit of an aberration. They were just getting stuck in a rundown house. I figured that's just Tuesday.
Yeah, no, they're just not particularly normal, but we move on. It's okay.
Hey, we're doing that, eh? So, what's got you out here?
Checking on with Raven, seeing how the camp's going.
Bad enough. Bad enough.
Figured I stop by at least.
Hey.
You doing alright?
Doing better. You know, getting used to the hectic and the kind of insane things we've been going through lately.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if necessarily used to, but I'm not letting it get to me as much, I think.
Try not to. The less you let it get to you, it'll be a little bit easier. I won't lie.
Yeah, that's a trick. I'm no veteran like you are.
No. I still have a lot to learn.
Well, I suppose we all do.
True. Anyways.
Alright, well, I need to
And
go
you're
get
aware of the meeting that's at
9.
9ish, yeah?
Here, we'll get a bath, get changed. I'll be there.
Okay. I'm heading up there early, so I'll catch you there.
Alright, see you there then.
Yep, not a problem.
And thus arrives 9 o'clock.
Nice.
Hopefully I escape from camp.
You can tell her,
Twin
I gotta go.
The twin will be a little bit late.
Oh no.
With my hair brushed, my face clean.
Yup. Looking presentable.
Little lunchbox.
Aljon looked even less presentable.
Cosmic balance is achieved thus.
I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I am clean.
Yeah, Twin, the one that was kind of like, oh, they got that guy. They've got the fish who's doing alright. You've got that like respectable plate armor dwarf. So he looks pretty nice. Twin was a little bit but now Twin looks presentable, and we've got a fourth, even less presentable person with us.
On my way, I just completely as I'm walking through the blacksmith, I accidentally just walk through an ash cloud.
Jeez.
Excellent.
Yes.
So yeah, you actually run into Darrett on the way out of the castle, kind of a scroll in his hand, heading towards the stables. Hey, hi, how are ya?
Is that our ever excited guard?
No, it's Darrett from Vogler,
Mm.
The fan.
Been a while.
the apprentice knight.
Ah, how's Sir Knight doing?
I'm doing great. I have a commission. I think I'm a knight now. Yeah.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Very awkwardly standing there in full plate armor, colors of Calaman, knight, like crown knight crest on the chest. The man does not know what to do with himself.
Is he wearing the armor well, or does it look like a child in a costume?
It looks good on him, but he's not comfortable with it.
Does it show on his face to someone who wears a lot of armor?
Yeah, we're talking like 16-year-old that's absolutely killing the tuxedo, but has never worn one in his life.
Okay.
All right.
He's just like constantly fidgeting with it. It fits fine, but he keeps like rolling his shoulders and shifting his weight.
You look a touch uncomfortable.
Don't overheat in that thing.
I'll try. I don't know. It's a lot, you know.
Do you mind if I maybe help you out with that? I might know a few tricks to make it slightly more comfortable for you, especially when you're still breaking into it and getting used to it.
Absolutely, anything you can do to help. I'd appreciate it.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm doing.
That's fine. I'm sure you're instructed by someone how to properly wear it and properly put it on, but there's a couple tips and tricks to kind of make it more comfortable when you're getting used to a new set of armor. Once it's broken in, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically
goes along with basically anything you say.
I basically tell him to hold still, and I adjust a couple straps ever so slightly, and a little looser, a little tighter there, so it stays in place a little better, and just little things.
Yeah, but hey, thanks. I really appreciate it.
A little better?
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, I got a job and everything. He like shows you the scroll in his hand. I gotta leave the city. There's
Ooh.
yeah,
Where to?
I'm going east. I don't quite know where yet. I was told to report to the officer out there. So, we'll see what's up.
Yeah, that'd be
It's
fun.
kind of I don't know about fun, but it's exciting. It's also kind of terrifying, you know?
Hey, it'll help you grow a little bit of backbone.
I really hope so. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing, man.
That's okay.
You guys make it look easy.
Well, welcome to adulthood, kid.
Everyone
You
starts
just-
somewhere.
He just sort of shudders visibly when you say that.
It's what you wanted.
Wanted is a strong word. But I guess, kind of.
You'll figure it out.
I don't know, is it always this big?
Always this big?
Just like vaguely gesturing. All of it? Everything? It's always this much?
Even bigger, kid.
Oh, good. That's good. Love to hear that. Thanks.
No problem.
No problem.
So,
would you have preferred I told you a lie?
I don't know, man.
You'll do good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I hope so. I really hope so. But yeah, what have you guys been doing? Haven't seen you around. Well, training and everything, but
Woof.
Just fought some skeletons.
oh, that sounds horrifying. Like actual skeletons?
I pull a
Bones
skeleton
and everything?
I pull the head out of my bag.
You know what? Don't. Okay. Don't scare the kid.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I put the skull back in my bag.
Oh, good. So that's out there. That's good to know. Real
Yep.
glad I know that now.
At least I'm not collecting them like the last campaign.
I have no appropriate response to that.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Well, it's good to see y'all. I gotta get going though. Sorry, don't mean to cut it short.
Go kick
But-
some ass, kid.
Yeah, sure. You too. Stay safe out there. Don't die.
I'm
Try not
artist.
to.
Walks off towards the stables, and he opens the stable door, takes one last look at you, shudders, and walks in.
Welcome to reality, kid.
Yup. In the meantime, the Lady Perth is waiting. And once again, the rather corporate-looking offices directly outside of hers are just the hustle and bustling center of Calaman trade, as all of the various workers and guilds are kind of shouting over each other, working in tandem, and her door is closed against the noise, but as you approach, Lady Micah sort of leans out. Oh, good, you're here. On time. Impressive. Come on in.
Do I show up on time?
You were a little bit late getting there, but you're with the rest of the group.
Good.
The office is as previously described. Lady Perth is kind of standing at the wall as if looking out a window. Turns around and you come in. Ah. Welcome back. I trust you slept well?
Beautifully.
Yes.
Says the one guy that doesn't sleep.
Good. Good to hear.
The baths that are available are a nice touch.
Indeed.
Makes for a comfortable stay.
And a wonderful end to the day, I'm sure. Quite fond of them myself. Well, I won't stall on pleasantries today. We have much work to attend to. She walks over to the desk and picks up a fairly hefty stack of papers and hands them to Dwarvos.
Oh boy.
For your group consideration.
Okay. This is...
You are currently working on a commission basis, and there are 3 outstanding commissions that we are not required of you, but we would appreciate it if you could handle, because you are the best suited that we have at the moment to them.
Okay, is she talking directly to me or the group as a whole?
Generally the group as a whole. You were just closest.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is both the matter of seeing your friend here sworn in, should he desire to be paid for his work.
Just give a little wave.
And just nods. And then to business.
Okay. Well... Alajan? I'm assuming you would like to be paid. To be fair, we talked about this yesterday.
I very much would like to be paid.
Wonderful. She's going to lead you through a very quick ceremony of basically swearing to uphold the laws of Kalaman and defend her people, and all of that good, juicy stuff of just being a good person and helping people, and gosh darn it, it's just your duty now. It feels very Boy Scouts oath as you're going through it, but she takes it 100% seriously.
I do my best to not look like I'm doing the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, I'm like holding back like a snicker the entire time.
As you pledge to uphold the safety of the land and the goodness of its people.
On my honor, I will do my best.
Yes.
No,
shut up.
Duty to God and my country. To obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically fit, mentally awake, and morally straight. Okay, we're done now.
You okay? You combobulated like 3 of them, but okay.
I don't care. We're moving on.
I know.
All we know is no gay morals.
What?
Gay?
Morally straight.
Morally.
Yeah, morally straight. No gay morals.
I don't know what a gay moral is.
Neither do I, but it's not allowed.
It's an extra
Thou shalt always
flamboyant.
be slaying.
It's a very flamboyant mushroom.
That's fair. But they taste so good, though.
Oh, they do.
Anyway. Alright, anyway.
Aren't morals poisonous?
No, morels are actually really, really good. They're a good snacking mushroom. But, yeah, you're led through a kind of a stand-up sort of oath. It feels a little bit ridiculous, but she takes it 100% seriously, and so does Lady Micah, who is constantly standing at attention through the entire thing. At the end of it, she hands you a small pouch of 5 gold and 5 silver for your previous work. Now that you are actually sworn in, you can be compensated for your time.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Now, to business. More information will be found in the material provided to you. However, The current outstanding commissions are rumors of a regiment within our borders, worryingly close. The farmland somewhat west of us has been disturbed by a recent incursion, and the farmers that have fled have spread rumors of red uniforms and fanatics taking over their land.
Oh, that sounds familiar. How fun.
Indeed. Most particularly men under a red banner and goblins, which is worrying for obvious reasons. Similarly, in the Dargard region, somewhat south of those particular events, we have a team of scouts which has gone missing, along with their road guard companions. Their station has been silent for a number of days now, and we would like you to investigate.
Okay.
And this one is a bit further out, however, the ford which crosses the Vingard River has recently been blockaded by Dragon Army soldiers, and there's not really any way to hide it. We think that's how they crossed the river to attack Vogler. We don't know why they chose to do so, but we hope that by sending you to clear them out, you might be able to find out what their intentions were in circumventing Kalaman to get to the hinterlands.
Okay.
It's also a critical trade route with the Real Watchway Castle, which is a strategic point of concern to me, but not at the moment. That's beyond us for the moment, anyway. Those are the 3 jobs available. You will be compensated as you report, in addition to the weekly sum agreed upon. Your time is your own, as is your business. However, we would appreciate these be dealt with in a timely and efficient manner.
Cool.
I have a question.
Yes?
I've taken jobs like this before, and there have been times where they haven't been 100% straight with all the info out of fear that we won't take the job. Can we skip that part?
Consider it skipped.
All right. So what are you not telling us?
That's a blunt way to put it.
She gestures to the stack of papers. Everything I know about your current assignments is within. Of the great estate that Kalaman is in, her military standing, and matters further abroad, I am not at liberty to speak.
Not at liberty.
I am not the highest power in the land.
All right. So I guess we're just going to have to trust you then.
Yep.
I am paying you fairly well.
This is true. 5 gold is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Still trying to get a grasp of like what the inflation rate is in this game, because like
It's
in some games,
seemingly very low.
yeah, because like in some games 5 gold can be like nothing, and in other games it's like that's like a year's salary.
Yeah. The idea is 5 gold is enough to live on for a week, provided you're not going out and spending a ton, but it's also enough where you could like live a little bit modestly, put some away, and afford some pretty expensive stuff in the future.
I have a general question. I feel like this is the only one. I'm the only one relevant to this. Have you changed wizard amounts, like component costs or reagent costs?
No.
Fair enough.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I seem to be the richest player at the moment.
Are you?
Like, Swampy, are you gonna multi-class wizard?
Thinking of it. I have some wizard spells and a book that has rituals in it. At the very least, I could copy rituals into the book.
Mm.
We'll see.
It's an option.
Mm-hmm.
I have
It's
not
currently a very
as yet
expensive
adjusted them because I have not deliberately taken the time to figure out the exact economic workings of the
Okay,
setting yet.
okay, but okay. My comment is more or less just I don't know how familiar everyone is with that, but generally it costs I think 50 gold per spell level,
Yep.
and
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
50 gold's worth of material per spell level, and if 5 gold gets you a nice sword or a nice set of gauntlets, it's like a lot of pay.
Wait, but isn't
Yeah.
there usually the assumption that you have a components pouch, so you don't have to worry about components?
Unless otherwise specified. But some things are still like I think spells like Revivify require a 300 gold piece, a 300 GP item that you need to have. You
Well,
cannot.
that's a very specialized spell, though.
Yeah,
That's
Mhm.
not a general use spell by any
yeah.
means.
General question.
Okay.
But anyway, um,
The honest answer to that question is I will take a serious look at it the moment you tell me that you want to multi-class into wizard and that is something you're interested in doing.
okay. I will get back to you on that then.
Mm.
It's not
Okay.
immediately relevant. Anyway, yeah. So the jobs. Do we want to just take a bit to look over the papers? We have several.
Sure.
I didn't catch
They are
anything the
in
first time you described them.
the war room.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's 3. Okay, I couldn't exactly tell where one started and the other ended.
They're on vaguely the same region. So, those are available to you. They are all roughly within 1 to 2 days ride of the city. It's wholly reasonable to both go out there, do one, and come back, or go out there, do all 3, and then come back. You can basically pace this however you'd like.
How far are they from each other?
It is difficult to tell you exactly without a map, but they are effectively within the same region of one another, so it's not like you're going to be traveling 2 days from one objective to the next.
Okay.
We could, in theory, hit all of them and then come back, but
It is entirely up to you.
mm-hmm.
So,
I guess we better make our preparations then.
Yep.
Yep.
I commissioned myself some new gear, so hopefully that should be ready by then.
True.
Of these 3, it looks like.
the furthest one out is the
Fjord.
blockade at the ford.
Mm.
So,
I was gonna say, I just kind of look at everyone. If I may speak freely,
Sure.
Go for it.
I think
No one's stopping me.
technically it might be best to do the. If we're looking at how quickly these are, how quickly it's important to get these done, it looks to me that the middle one, the Durgard Tower, may be most important. The soldiers fleeing their lands would have been several days in and out, but establishing a position there would likely take some time for the army,
Mm.
if it would be anything like they plan to do in Vogler, large camp. While the fjord, it seems that they're already entrenched in their positions.
Mm.
However, a tower like what brain, if you would use words. A tower like the one that they're saying the Durgar guards are no longer responding to would be relatively easily to take over and fortify. So I feel it might be best to go after that one. Retrieve any missing information if they have any important reports. And
So you're saying we go for missing scouts, then blockade?
Missing scouts, I haven't talked about a second one, just missing scouts first.
Okay. Because having trade blocked up is pretty bad. It's generally not a good thing.
It's not great.
Yeah.
I'm entirely open to hearing anyone else's thoughts.
Darkguard. When it says Dogguard, I thought for a moment, because I'm tired and other things, I thought it said Dawnguard. A little bit.
Want to be a vampire hunter, do you?
I hear they're reestablishing the Dawn Guard.
Oh my god.
Enterprising adventurer like you would be just perfect.
Yeah. After I walk up, as I already finished the game at like level 50 or 60.
Yup. Please don't make me reinstall Skyrim. I don't want to reinstall Skyrim.
Oh god.
Anyway,
I just missed some of the DLCs, because the DLCs were so good.
They were. The base game kind of sucked.
That's why you mod the shit out of it.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to reinstall it.
It's gonna take up 10 gigs of your space? At least?
It is. I have a very minor, small, possible addiction to modding Bethesda games that I don't want to feed, because it becomes an actual problem.
Fair enough.
Pose your games to a crawl.
He's more invested in the modding of the games than the playing of the modded games.
Also,
Yeah.
Serana, best follower.
I disagree, but I know where you're coming from.
She's super strong, super accurate, isn't loud as fuck, isn't constantly talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, that's pretty good.
I maintain the best follower is Rufus the dog. He doesn't constantly interrupt me when I'm talking.
Fair enough.
I have 130 hours on Skyrim. In Skyrim on Steam. I have probably 400 hours on the modding Nexus for Skyrim and various other Bethesda games. It's a problem.
Fair enough. Super funny.
Yay! So yeah, that's how that goes.
So which one is the closest?
That would be probably the first one, Rumors of Regiments.
Let's do that one.
Which one? Which direction is that from Kalaman?
That's basically directly west along the river. So that goes directly west. The blockade is further than that, and then the missing scouts is south of those.
Oh.
Somewhat in the middle of them. They form kind of a triangle.
What if we kind of did a loop? We'll come back if we have to, however.
Yeah.
We can do with the first one, keep going, to the third one, and then loop around to the second one, head on back.
Sounds good
Again,
to me.
if we're running low on stuff and we're kind of beat up, fucked up, we need, something, we can always come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. My gut feeling says a blockade of Ford is gonna be a doozy. Probably.
It seems like something that maybe like small militia should take care of, not 4 people.
I mean, 5, but who's counting?
And to be clear, you're mostly being hired for reconnaissance here.
Okay.
We could always hire.
They would like it removed, but you have the option of coming back and requesting aid if you feel you need it.
That, or we can use some rather strong drinks to firebomb said blockades. That's an option.
What is it with you people on fire? I mean, you're right, but also...
But, like, if I have a problem, set it on fire. Like, if there's bad guys, set them on fire. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, just some grade A fire hooch.
I guess.
I'm basically just putting it, we can get creative. We can sneak in, blow it up in some form or manner. We'll see.
You have options.
Yes, sir.
This is true.
I mean, we could always hire another person. Wink wonk.
Who would we... Why would we hire... Who would we hire?
Shipwright.
I'm saying wink wonk because we have another player here.
I don't know. Wonk, wonk, wink, 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 wonk, 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 wink.
Yes, yes.
Now would be the time, I guess.
I guess. Glint, do you have a character?
Glint, do you have brain cells tonight?
Jam, he muted.
He be.
Go track him down physically.
I don't wanna.
Oh.
Oh, he wants to. It's kind of up to him. We've been working on his character. It's mostly done. So.
Forward to it.
He might also be asleep, because he kind of gassed himself out on the wall.
On the... Oh, God.
Yeah. That's fair.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to that course of action. Taking those.
Well, I guess we better get ready then.
Let's head to the first one.
Requisition any supplies you may need from the quartermaster and stables, and see to it.
Yep.
Oh, Lady Perth had also asked about the manner of training.
Ah, yes. Unfortunately, in the local area, I have no one of any particular skill I could rely on to teach you. I can keep looking, but for now, I'm afraid I have nothing to report.
It's okay. The effort's still appreciated.
Indeed. Anything to make your lives easier.
Excuse me. Sorry, I've been eating jelly beans all day.
You are not excused.
You just burped right in front of Lady Perth, man.
I've been eating jelly beans. I'm sorry.
You simply are not excused. You must die now.
Lady
suffer.
You
Micah
must perish.
You just see Lady Micah look in from the outside of the room and stare daggers at you, twin.
God damn it.
So yeah, that's about how that's going.
Great.
Anyway. No,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Afterwards, he says, tastes like fresh bread.
Yeasty.
Tastes like mom. Mother's homemade cooking.
Okay, that's better.
Shut
There
up.
you go. Alright, I wasn't gonna say anything, but we're all a little bit mentally fried this session.
You mean every session.
Yes.
Anyway,
I'm fried from last night, man. That was...
Yeah, that's fair.
What you all do last night?
Farm, unfortunately.
I don't want to talk about it. We are in it for the long haul, let's put it that way.
It was a thing.
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, you are free to requisition any supplies you feel you might need and set out basically whenever you want. You have quite a bit of leeway here in how you do this. Basically, as long as the jobs get done before, like, awful stuff starts to happen, you should be fine.
Yeah.
So.
which poses the question, does Mike want to wait for his stuff to be done?
Well, I'll pose that to the group. I'm like, look, I have a commission going. They said it'll take about 3 days. If you guys don't want to wait that long, then we could just go. But ultimately, I'm one person here. So if we can just go, I don't mind just going.
We can go. go hit the first two, come back, grab things, talk about things, get monies, yada yada yada, or collects payments.
Yeah.
Then go hit the third one in the loop. That can totally work too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good.
As for question, just what was my question? This is to you, Pancake.
Okay.
Those two radios we got, would these be within range to have one of them here back with Lady Micah? Like to leave one of the radios with her?
For the first job, yes. For the other two, they're a bit too far away.
Alright, but it would be not like multiple days to get back in range.
No.
Okay.
It'd be
So
it would be a matter of being like a couple miles out of range.
Okay. I just kind of turn to the group and I say, we've got these from the gnome last time. Would any of you feel uncomfortable leaving one of them with Lady Micah? That way we might be able to communicate our results, or if we need to return.
Probably a good idea, just in case.
That way, if anything changes while we're out there, or anything becomes more urgent.
We can request for help.
We can also easily send in
Or reports.
or call in, reports.
That way, if one of these perchance takes longer than expected.
Yep.
Just basically, if we do all three, we're not leaving them in the dark for several days while we wait to get the other two reports in.
Yep. Alright.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
We can wait for 3 days to get everything in.
We can wait for 3 days?
I mean, are we waiting on no.
Ajan's gear.
Ajan's gear?
No, we do not. We do not need to wait. We do not need to wait on my gear.
Alright.
If time is of the essence, I don't need some fancy gloves.
They would be very, very helpful, though.
Knowing what we're going up
That's
ahead,
true.
yeah.
Do you
So,
guys
to
want me
kinda-
to punch harder, or do you want me to go faster?
To just kind of lay it out all for you guys. There is no pressing time limit on any of these jobs that you have been given. But the clock is always ticking, in the sense that while you are doing nothing, the bad guys are probably doing something.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say I'd probably prefer to head out sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
We can come back if the gear becomes necessary, but if we're just scouting, at least for the first one of these, then I think...
Yeah.
Ajan, you're very capable, Ajan. I think you should be able to handle yourself.
Yeah, I've been doing fine without it. It was just a precaution, but I think I'll be okay. So
Okay. We should probably get going then.
Yep. Time to head out.
Mm-hmm.
Grab the horses, the carriage. All that.
Alright.
And maybe other... So you said there's a provisions master or something along those lines?
There's a quartermaster at the stables. So,
Okay.
however many days of supplies you feel you need, anything like that.
We'll probably need at least a week's worth. At least.
Probably
Fair enough.
more, but yeah.
We can pick up more along the way. It's okay.
It'll be fine.
Jeez.
Okay. The quartermaster is a slightly overweight half-elf who also looks slightly overworked as he's rushing around, basically fulfilling all of the requisitions requests from everyone else at the exact same time. So, yep, got it,
Oh
sure.
my god, he works for Amazon. Oh my...
He works for the military.
Even worse.
He's got like a clipboard that he's sort of jotting notes down on that are like half-finished words and kind of unformed sentences that just vaguely remind him what he needs to be doing.
Half
Shorthand,
thoughts.
basically.
Yeah. Man's more worried about being efficient than being legible.
As long as he can read his own work.
We would hope. Got it. And you need that? Yep, okay, cool. And you're gonna be gone how long?
About a week. That's the plan, at least.
6 pounds of flour, got it, okay. Yeah. And he rips off a sheet from the clipboard and hands it to you. Yeah, just, hand that in for requisition pricing, it'll be fine. Actually, no, you keep that copy. I hand mine. That's what it is. You keep yours, I hand mine. Don't throw that away. Keep it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, be ready in an hour or so. If you want to head out. I don't know. What's your schedule look like?
We're pretty free.
Yep.
Alright, good.
We just like to leave sooner rather than later.
Fair enough.
Run to Kyle to let them know that like I'll be gone and I'll come and pick it up when I return.
Mm-hmm.
But you can come back after the second one, so
the
it'll be like 4 or 5 days, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which he did say, what, 2-3 days? Something like that?
Yeah. Just about.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure they're not like, well, he's gone. I guess I'll sell this thing that he commissioned.
Indeed.
That is, in fact, not so happy fun times.
No.
It wouldn't be,
It's
would it?
not. Yeah. So I'm just going to go do that, and then we can set off.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Role play it. We can just go.
Yeah.
Speaking of going,
Alright.
shall we take a 15-minute break?
Yes.
By
Now is a good time to
need
do that.
Water.
I need to relieve myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Go, little piss man, go piss.
I just need to recalibrate and recollect my thoughts. Brain. I also need to actually peel out of this mission now that we are getting into some serious D&D and I need to actually pay attention. So I'm going to extract.
You were playing Warframe this whole time?
Oh
Yes, he
God.
was.
Yeah, I was farming Varuna this whole time.
So was I.
Valid. To be fair, that's not the reason that I was distracted. I've mostly just been pressing mouse 1 and everything has been dying. It's just kind of been... Notes are scattered. I was not as well prepped as I thought I would be for everything, so... Getting myself in order here.
And guess what? We're traveling. I get to try and roll a 3.
Yes, you do! So good for you.
What
I'm
does
so
that
proud of you.
mean?
I'm at 17 for attunement.
Mm-hmm. This will be the one time you roll any higher.
one.
I'm gonna roll like an 8 this time. I'm either gonna roll like a 2 and it's gonna take another day, or I'm gonna roll a pure 8 and I'm gonna get like 5, way more than I need. So I think it took Dwarvos 3 days to attune and Mike 4 days
Pretty
to
much.
learn to read.
Yeah.
And despite having made the active effort to like engage with Dwarvos to learn more about this, and also to learn about the weapon to use it better, I am last.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
That's how it goes sometimes.
It is, and it's very funny. I do not mind. I will get there eventually.
Yes, you will.
Maximum of 3 tries.
No, if I fail again, I gotta
Yeah.
start over. Weapon just doesn't
Ugh.
like me. Fuck your attunement. Not happening.
It like the weapon becomes sentient, gets up and leaves. Attune D's nuts. And just walks off.
The item changes into a completely different glaive that I have to attune to again.
Uh-huh. End up in a situation like Honor Among Thieves, where you're just constantly having the exact same conversation with the exact same ghost version of your dad, just like, just do it! Just do it!
I'm just imagining it's the fucking thing from the D&D movie Pancake.
Mm-hmm.
Put on the helm. Absolutely fucking not. Violently
Yep.
forces itself off your head.
You simply may not. And so it goes.
Are you gonna take a break? Gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
thought
I had
taking-
to extract from the mission, and now I will
Okay.
go get something to eat and
I'm
drink.
gonna go get something to drink as well.
I will be back.
Also, I have found the Kuvazar very good.
I am back. Woof. A woof. D&D, am I right? Soul. Mm. In the interest of time, shall we... I think I put too much cheese in my chili, but whatever.
Maybe you didn't put enough chili into your cheese. Think about that.
True. That is also an option. Most of our chili comes in cans, so...
At what point would you say that it's chili with cheese in it, or cheese with chili in it?
When the chili comes with cheese itself.
Like, would you say, like, if something is 50% cheese, 50% chili, would you say that is chili with a lot of cheese, or cheese with chili mixed in?
Cheese with chili. It would have to be like a mix of like 75% chili and 25% cheese for it to be sort of like evenly mixed.
Big chili guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's not usually like my go-to.
Mm.
Making some soup right now.
Ooh, that's good.
Old matzo ball soup.
Mm. I always like minestrone soup because that's always good.
I return.
Hello.
What's your favorite soup?
Matzo ball soup's pretty good.
Here you go.
Mm.
You fit. So, can you guess who the two Jews are in this group?
You too.
Because I literally just said my favorite soup is matzo ball soup. I'm making it right now.
I mean, chicken and rice is also good.
That's true. When I say I'm making soup, I should say I'm reheating already made soup.
Soup.
I like minestrone pretty good.
Like sweet potato squash soup or pumpkin squash. Very autumn kind of soup.
Yeah. Minestrone soup always came across as like a winter soup.
Something party.
Yeah. Sticks to your gut.
Yeah.
Lots of protein, lots of noodles.
I am back as well.
Hello.
Woo.
We got the voice and the players
Mm-hmm.
and the PCs.
We got the lads.
We do.
We're not playing British football. We're not the lads. Oh, I got me
Can
my
still be the
leg.
lads, okay?
Mm.
Alright.
Okay.
So you're going to have. What?
No, that was making a joke.
Okay. You're going to have several hours of travel time. Also, I'm assuming you're taking Iriata with you. Are you taking anyone else?
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Does
Actually, I was
Garen's on
wondering,
his
do you
own
think we could see
mission.
if do you think we could see if Hector would want to
Hector.
come?
Hector is yours, Ajan, your general friend and companion.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go run and find him.
Alright.
Yeah, is he bored of
Um,
doing labor?
He is
Yeah.
not very good at it, we've seen.
Mm.
So yeah, I haven't seen him in a bit, but I'm gonna assume he's down by the shipyard.
He is at camp.
Pretty good assumption, I'd
Oh,
say.
camp.
He's
So
not at the shipyard. He is at camp, though.
okay, so I'll go to camp and seek him out.
Alrighty. He is not difficult to find. You just kind of follow the swearing, if I'm honest.
Yep.
Yep.
As he has erected something that looks vaguely shack-shaped, that is leaning to one side and full of holes, and he's just like, "It doesn't work! It doesn't work! Every single time I do it!" And John is just reclining against a wall, laughing at him.
His perfectly made wall.
He doesn't have a wall here, he's just laughing at Hector now.
Oh.
Hey, Hector,
Oh, hey!
you doing, mate?
Fine.
Want to go on an adventure?
When you say adventure, how likely is it to get me killed?
We're just doing some scouting. If you're tired of doing your fine work here, you're welcome to come along.
Yep, sure. I got nothing to lose.
Oh, God.
Sweet. I kind of do like the pirate handshake with him. You know, like you grab the forearms. All right, let's do it.
Oh, my
Yep,
God.
let's go. John muttering. It's good riddance, honestly.
Pack a bag. It'll be a few days.
Sure. Already packed. He just kind of gestures to himself.
I love this man.
He's so... What's the word for... Oh, he's a himbo. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I come back a few minutes later. All right, guys, we got Hector coming. Let's go.
Yep.
I assume we're all just kind of piling into the cart at this point.
That is an option you have, yeah. Presumably you can have multiple horses or more than one cart, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
Well, I'm
Carts are
not the
good.
biggest fan of these land animals.
Well, okay, so
They
there will
locomote
be
with their feet. It's unnatural.
6 of us going, with about a week's worth of supplies. One cart should be fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking for traveling space, but
You know what's funny? I didn't even mention to Hector that there's money involved. He's just like, let's do it.
Like,
There's
not
not
building
money.
houses, I'm in.
There's not money for Hector though.
He's not sworn in
Not sworn in. There's no money.
unless you're paying him.
I mean, get compensate him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll gladly compensate him, but if he doesn't, only if he asks, because otherwise I'm just going to assume he doesn't want.
Oh my god.
No, I'll pay him.
And like a gold or two. For
He's a man of very few wants in this world.
Yeah.
I've
He does
noticed.
seem to be, I'll give you that.
I look over, literally, I imagine like in the car as we're going, I'm like, by the way, Hector, do you want anything for this?
Food? Food is good. I like food. You have food, right?
We'll treat you to some meals then.
Sure.
Now that I think about it, we should probably take 2 carts, just in case.
Yep.
It gets me away from that guy. That guy's scary. I don't like him.
Who is he pointing at?
He's not pointing. Like, you're pretty well on at this point. But when Ajan asks if it's Jean, he just nods. That guy's scary.
Ah.
You've seen him. He doesn't even look. He doesn't even look at the nails. It's witchcraft.
He doesn't use. He uses a tool, not his hands. How does he?
Hector.
How does he feel where they're going?
Hector, do you want me to teach you shipbuilding when we get back?
I can build ships and boats. I've done it all my life.
Elsa's, however.
You want me to show you how Jean does it?
Seems like witchcraft to me.
Oh no, it's not witchcraft. It's craft. It's craft.
If you say
We'll cross
so.
that bridge. I put my hand on his head. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Oh boy.
Can I ask what his intelligence score is? Like mine's
That-
not high, but
My good buddy Mike, that would be a whopping -2.
Yep.
He has a -2 modifier to his intelligence.
Huh.
so do
That's a
I.
little bit more telling, I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, no, I have a -1. Sorry, but
You're doing a little bit better than he is.
Oh,
Now, what is his wisdom? Is the question.
It's
-1. Oh, okay.
No, he's a follower. It's +2.
Oh, okay. So just kind of like, it's like, we'll talk about this when we get back. Just give him some jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He contentedly begins to munch.
Oh, wonder. It's like distracting the toddler.
It's not that far off.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of toddlers, where's Why?
You haven't seen her recently. Like, all day.
I mean, I spoke to her quite in depth last night, but I haven't seen her.
What's she asking about?
I should remember this, but I don't. She was asking about why I was shining my armor, and if humanoids and people of the like shiny things because of it. And turns out she cannot see herself in a mirror. She simply knows. She doesn't see. She simply, yeah. It was interesting.
Gotta find more out about these spread, because if she's gonna be following us around,
Yep.
Probably.
maybe her mom will get back into contact with me. I did tell you guys about that, right?
assumingly.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The mystical prophecy lady in my dream was her mom.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Alright. So you get a couple of hours. Did you decide which one you're doing first?
Probably the closest one.
First, third, loop around. First, third, loop around, do second. Because it's west-west. Come down south towards that, and then head back.
Alright.
If necessary, we
Come
can
back
head
early,
back after
yeah.
the second one.
Alright, got it. I'm gonna be honest, we'll probably wrap the session after you finish the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
Just because
That's-
that feels like a good stopping point to me, I think.
No, probably.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
At
Sounds
least
good.
from what I'm looking at. So,
Usually our in-game session time is like a day or two.
Mhm.
So that totally tracks.
so you've got a couple of hours before you get there.
I think we have, what, 2 carriages, I think? Probably should.
Fair enough. Who's driving?
I'll take drive this time.
Are you
Alright.
used to carriage driving?
You see me grab the reins and try to like steer it like a tiller on a ship.
Oh no.
I would be more accustomed to
Oh,
it.
is this-
That's not how you do that.
Is anyone helping him?
Me.
Okay.
I am.
Right. This will be a learning experience.
And who is driving the second cart?
Probably Ariata.
Probably Uriel,
Okay.
I was about to say. She also knows how to drive a cart.
Yes, she does.
Okay. Alright.
So
Is this like a one supply cart, one people cart situation, or...
I kind of figure this is like a split up. People in each one,
Yeah, it's
supplies
like
in
that.
each one.
Okay.
Makes it a little bit more comfortable for foot room in the works.
Mhm.
That's my thought process. If you guys have another thought process, feel free, please speak up.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Alright.
So it
This
sounds
is...
like me, Ajan, and one other person can be in our cart.
Want to take,
Probably Hector. And the rest of us
Probably Hector. Yeah.
can pile in with Ariata.
And then it'd be Ariata,
me and Twitch?
Leica, and Twint.
Mm.
Sounds like a plan.
Alrighty. So... Travel is mostly uneventful. The ever-present Dargard rain has sort of receded back to its gloomy mountain home.
Mm.
And Nightland is once again mostly dry. That will not last long, as most of you probably know. But
Yeah.
the weather here is pretty predictable. If it's not raining, it's probably gonna be raining soon.
Yeah.
Always.
And your first objective is actually pretty easy to find because you basically just follow the road, and every so often you pass a broken down cart or signs of people going the other way. The carts are usually scattered with various accoutrements that people couldn't carry away. General fleeing the scene kind of vibes going on.
Mm.
But you don't encounter any people, which isn't necessarily strange, but given that there is evidence of people having come this way so recently, it might be strange that there aren't any people currently leaving.
That's probably not good.
That's not good at all.
And you have
Is there
a
any
couple of
signs of,
hours
like-
to travel. Sorry?
Are there any signs of like an attack of some kind? Like, does it look like some of these carts got attacked with their bodies or blood or things of that
No.
nature?
It's things like this horse was lame, so it was turned loose and the cart continued on, or this wagon's axle broke and couldn't be repaired, so they just left it behind. Stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Like, evidence of people having come past, but nobody really here anymore. This grows more frequent. It's never constant, but it grows kind of a little bit more frequent as you approach the farmland to which you were pointed.
Oh my.
Yep.
All right.
In the meantime,
Yep.
Yes.
we are going to start with Leica. Is there anything you would like to do?
I, my friend, would like to do a little bit of reading. Don't have to go through that on that rune book.
Okay.
And I would like to, but most importantly, I'd like to roll a d8, my friend.
You may roll a d8.
Nat 1, nat 1, nat 1.
Alrighty then, I
Please
will
do it.
check my sheet real quick just to see where I am. I believe I'm at. Correct. I'm at 17 out of 20.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna close my eyes. I want to roll this. Someone tell me whether or not I made it.
You made it.
Yep, unfortunately.
Yep, exactly an 8. I'm at 25.
Yep.
I said it. I said, and Pinga confirmed, yeah, I would either get an 8 or I would get a 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brain blast.
That's too
Suddenly,
funny.
the animation of this D&D game has gone wildly downhill.
Mm.
I was gonna say, you feel like it just kind of stare at the spear, like trying to feel it, and then she just kind of breaks down for a second and says, she just kind of whispers to the spear, please work, and then focuses back on it for a final time.
Hey, guess what? It works.
Hey.
That's nicely worked. Let's go.
Woo!
Think.
Begging the magic item to let me use it worked. Please.
Yeah. Yeah, it has this time.
And then the show ran out of funding.
And then the power went out, so we just stopped animating for the day and went home.
I'm so
No.
glad. I'm so glad I'm not like I was worried. I'm like, oh god, is this going to be an age thing where they don't know what Jimmy Neutron is?
I'm not that
Oh
young.
gosh.
Alright.
What are we? Why are we talking about Jimmy Neutron?
I have no fucking
Brain
clue.
blast.
He made a
I
very,
made a
very,
brain blast.
very dumb reference. It was okay.
Yep.
Okay.
To be fair,
Sorry.
I never watched it as a kid. I just absorbed it by osmosis.
Yeah, that's how
Fair
most
enough.
people watch that show.
Understandable.
Unfortunately, I
Alright.
actually have watched it.
Fair enough. I've seen, I think, maybe 2 full episodes ever.
It was a hideously designed show.
Ew.
I
A little bit.
I am to alert the DM when this happens. Pancake, I have now passed the 20 threshold for the weapon attunement.
Yes, you have.
Mm.
Does something
Alright.
happen when you do like does it like glow?
It actually does, in fact.
Oh,
Oh.
Does it?
So-
Oh god, it's got gate magic. Does it teleport?
What?
It's got gate magic. Does it teleport me somewhere random?
The glaive does not have gate magic. Oh, no, you're right. No, it does. Actually, it does not teleport you, however. Sorry, I forgot what the spear is supposed to do.
That's fine.
Raggy.
Okay,
You're right.
what you have just attuned yourself to.
The spear doesn't teleport me. It teleports itself. It's gone.
It's the non-fungible glaive!
No.
God fucking damn it. No, I have to share that meme now.
Yes, you do. In the meantime, you have a +1 glaive. So, it is a basic +1, but it has the property where when you hit with it, you may choose whether it deals slashing, fire, cold, or lightning damage.
Huh?
that is.
And you need to alert me if you ever roll a natural 20 with it.
Okay, first I'm going to the table to post that meme.
Do you have proficiency with glaives? You're a monk.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get it. That's why I asked for glaive training, but I wanted to attune.
Yeah.
I
So did
generally use a spear, which is not particularly distance. Okay, so okay. Fire, slash, ice, or lightning, you said?
fire, cold, lightning, or slashing damage. It can only deal 1 damage type per attack, but you get to choose.
Okay, so fire, slash, cold, or lightning.
Oh boy.
That's kind of neat, actually.
If it ever rolls a 20 tail pancake, that is the description I've got. Okay.
Yes.
Correct.
I personally put that on my page in big bold.
I am going to. I just wanted to note it down first. But yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I now have a +3 to hit with it.
Yes.
Not a +2.
I need you to refresh my memory. Have you ever actually cast Identify on this glaive yet?
Yes. I learned that it. Okay, one moment. I have it on our names. What I learned. For the non-fungible glaive stuff.
Yes.
Da, da, da. It was this. Okay. Where the fuck is it? glaive is
Right the
magic.
fuck here.
In terms of stuff to do immediate. What? That's a different message.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
it was made by Wood Elves about 400 years ago. The runes in the handle make up some kind of spell, but I don't know what. It got a large reservoir of magic, and its school interfaces with gate magic, the kind that opens walls in space and portals and such like that. Used by someone to guard a large sandy dune for hundreds of years, although that's all I got from it, and it was made by one historical Stephen.
Yes.
That's what I got.
So, in the process of attuning it, you are, in a matter of seconds, witness to 100 lifetimes of guardianship. Stewardship passed down generation to generation, guarding something. The idea of what you are particularly guarding seems to change and warp whenever you try and think about it too hard. But it is a weapon forged in service to some guardianship. It is a symbol of office to a people who no longer exist, is effectively what this is now. And the runes that are carved into the teakwood handle and the almost brass head just glow faintly white for a few moments as this is happening, and then dull back down to their inlaid normalcy.
It's like both you, Twint, and Iriana would just feel like a very happy look on her face. She opens up her notebook, starts immediately writing everything down, kind of like pats it like if it was a living thing. Great job.
Okay. Still good. You got anything?
I think I finally did.
Oh, good.
I imagine, like, while I should be having my eyes on the road, I look back. Oh, great job, Leica!
Different cart.
Oh. I look over at a completely different cart when I should be.
I'm imagining you just like you hear me shout like "yay" and then you just yell back "great job."
Great job!
The horses slightly veer off the road.
Shit! Okay.
Pay attention to the road.
Sorry. Do we put a student driver sticker on the cart?
Oh no.
How is that car
I
driving attempt
don't
going?
think those
I'd love to
exist
know.
yet.
Can I
I
ask how,
Huh?
can I ask how like how I'm doing?
You may ask.
The answer
Like,
is not
very
great. You need to pay more attention to the road and pay attention to going in a straight line.
okay.
I need you to make me an animal handling check, if you would kindly.
Can I
Okay.
argue that this should be a disadvantage?
I'm helping, so no.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
No, it
so-
wouldn't be a disadvantage, but first of all, he's being helped, and second of all, it's less that he's being punished for not knowing what he's doing, and more that he's not rewarded because he doesn't know what he's doing. Because normally you would add your proficiency to this.
Well, 11.
It's not going great.
But it's going.
Yeah, you figured out how
We're
to
going.
get the horses to go. Turning, you haven't really figured that part out yet. You still need Vormos to do that for you.
I have to hand
Also
the reins
stopping.
over.
I figured I'm kind of talking him through how to do a lot of that, but yeah.
Yeah.
It-
Also,
yeah,
stopping, you don't know how to do that.
Oh. No, but
Ah.
like, with a sail, it's like a sail's not an animal that you have to tell what to do. So it's like,
Unfortunately, this is a different type of beast, so to speak.
What I'm imagining is like
that's the problem. It is a beast. Who came up with this idea?
Oh my god.
what I'm
What, do
imagining
you
is like,
feel like hauling hundreds of pounds of stuff at a time?
That's exactly what we do on boats.
Congrats, this is a land boat. Our forward movement is horses.
I
You
was
can
just
put a sail
imagining
on this.
Oh my god.
the issue I'm imagining is that every time the wind hits his face, he starts to turn the horses for no reason.
Exactly.
So used to the wind attacking everything.
I try to tack a horse.
I mean, I was trying to tactfully avoid making you look like an idiot, but I guess you are kind of an idiot, aren't you?
No, I will.
Yeah.
I will voluntarily make myself an idiot.
I'm glad you will, because I don't normally do that.
I made a dumb character. I'm going to
This
be
is
a
fair.
dumb character.
This is fair.
Oh jeez.
So I'm like,
Fine.
okay,
You were allowed to voluntarily be stupid. I just won't force it on you most of the time.
yeah. I keep my eyes on the road. 10 and 2. The whole deal.
10 and 2 on an imaginary steering wheel that won't exist for several centuries.
Yeah, 10 and 2 on the ropes.
Which is actually how you're supposed to hold reins, but
That's how you're supposed to, but nobody does.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. We do get there eventually.
Yup, you do be getting there. In the process of getting there, Hector is not actually going to think to ask many questions about what's going on. But Iriata, on the other hand, is not completely lost as to what's happening. So at some point, she just pulls Laika, I guess, is the close. Laika and Twint, I guess, are the closest people. And she's like, so, what's your read on the situation?
On which one?
The one we're going to.
Well, the job and all that. How do you figure it?
Let me check the war room.
I'll let Twint answer first.
I imagine it wouldn't be terrible, but if we play it the wrong way, we might get caught in a situation that can't be escaped from easily.
Do you think something might be going wrong?
Probably.
We're heading to the smallest one first. And they don't seem to be expecting anyone to come up this way, so hopefully the first one shouldn't be too bad. Should give us a good read on how the other situations are, how well trained their troops are, and how kind of experienced their tactics are. They're just sweeping across randomly and looting as much as they can, or if they're trying to establish anything.
Yeah.
You really think we might end up fighting an army?
God, I hope not.
Well, I mean, we saw an army back in Vogler. We don't know where it is now. The hopes that we don't find it
And
again, but we may always
if we
find us.
can, let's try to avoid fighting entirely.
That's the plan.
And the fun thing about plans,
They never go right.
there you go.
But yeah, our plan's not to face down an army. Something we hope to avoid, and it's something if we find the opportunity to, we'll probably won't take. But adventuring work happens, whether you want it to or not, and find what
I
you find.
suppose. I mean, obviously I'm not untrained, but I'm not really an adventurer either. I was a professional before this, not really an itinerant mercenary.
How many adventures
I
it
guess
takes for someone to become an adventurer? 1.
that is a terrifying notion, thank you.
And we've been on,
It's
and I
a
would say
terrifying job.
we've been on at least one together, and you held your own well. You should.
I guess I'm not worried about how well I'll hold up, but just there's a lot riding on this, it seems.
Well, it's a big city. They aren't just taking everything on us. I'm sure they have other outlets they're looking for, but information never hurts.
Almost certainly, but just I don't know. I've never seen armies before. I've never worked with forces that large. Obviously, you train and you prepare, but it never really seems like it's gonna happen, right? You never think so, anyway. And then here we are, fighting, I guess, an army for a city we don't know much about. Getting paid pretty well to do it, I guess. I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out where you're at, I suppose, because I haven't quite found out myself.
Well, you're here of your own accord. If you feel this is the
Aye.
right thing to do, then I encourage you to do it. If not, I'm sure your homeland would be happy to have you back.
Maybe. I don't know, just things going through my head, I suppose. Never had to think about them before.
And I'm sure you've seen your fair share in your travels. Anything to say?
Not yet. I don't know. I don't know
I said
yet.
twin.
Oh, me?
I said twin. I'm sure your travels have taken you a lot of places. Anything you'd like to say?
No.
This is fair. I'm sorry, I misheard you.
No, you're fine.
I didn't hear you. Suddenly you wanted an answer from a child. Fuck, I don't know.
He's a child that's been a few places.
The sewers, perhaps.
You have lived a life for a child.
Yes,
so
I have.
Don't sell yourself short.
I am also the reason that half of, like, the noble district in my hometown burned down. So, like...
That's an
Well,
adventure.
yeah,
That's a goddamn adventure if I've ever heard of one.
That's an adventure.
This is also why I don't steal from buildings anymore.
Crime! You must do crime!
No.
Do
The
it.
god in your brain has whispered to you crime once again. How shall you respond?
No.
Crime.
Get in my brain! Just yelling at back at him. Get out of my brain!
You're in my brain! You're certainly more well-travelled than most children your age.
I guess.
More competent.
Still
That's
get
fine. I wouldn't
murdered
say
on.
I wouldn't say to sell yourself short.
Hmm.
You may be short, but doesn't mean anything about your capabilities.
Oh, that's where we're going. Okay.
She doesn't mean it as an insult, but like it's an observation more or less.
I am aware.
Autistic fish girl.
I'm gonna be honest. It takes a lot to not assume you're 4, and you're 12. You're a whole 12 years old. You are tiny.
I am 13. Thank you very much.
I have only ever lived with minotaurs who are very tall and elves. Your kind is strange.
Of course.
There is that.
Where I'm from, doesn't matter if you're big or small. If you can punch, you're doing good.
I see.
No matter what.
Well, in that
no matter
case, you're
what
doing
size,
great.
What? Size doesn't matter if you can beat up pirates.
Oh, really?
I want that on a t-shirt.
Put that in the
I want a
quotes.
t-shirt that says size doesn't matter if you can beat up pirates.
I think a better way to say that would be size doesn't matter if Johnny Depp's a bitch.
I don't know, man. I like the other one better.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I just look over. I look over at her and I'll say, "Trust me, adventuring can be really scary, but the more you do it, the braver you become. And besides, being brave doesn't mean ignoring your fears. It means getting over it." So,
Fair enough.
can I ask you? Can I ask you something? Do you feel fear?
Yes.
Okay. Are you still here with us?
Yes.
Then you're really brave.
You're brave for.
Or stupid. Haven't figured out which one yet.
There it
I think
is.
you can be. You see, Leica just gives it a smile. I think both come together.
You're an absolute wonder, darling.
Oh boy.
Cut to me just like kind of like picking my nose a little bit. What? Brave and dumb? That's my brand.
I'm glad you said it out loud. I was worried you hadn't realized it yet.
Good.
I think
I'm a
everyone.
moron, but I'm a self-aware moron.
Excuse.
That may be for the best,
That is-
actually.
I don't know who was talking there, Ajan or Mike.
Yes. Yes is good.
Ow. Bless. Excuse.
Just gonna keep my eyes on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
continue to your job.
Continue to attempt to drive. I don't know, I just figured I'd ask. Figure out where everyone else is on this. And given it some thought, haven't figured out where I stand yet on the whole, Lady Perth and her whole deal and all that. I mean, nobility officers, obviously, it's
Strange.
just what it is, I suppose.
Well, I think we are okay for now. Our work is confined to, and I kind of pull out the symbol of Takaisis, to being against this, which we're pretty sure isn't in the right.
Yeah, I think we can say that pretty well.
So as long as what we're doing is against this, whoever it's for, I think we're doing something good.
Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe not the morality of the situation that's bothering me, but I'm not really a citizen of Kalaman or Solamnia. It's not my place to step in, I think, but it just seemed like the right thing to do at the time until I started thinking about it. Now I'm not quite so sure.
Well, you know what they call someone who steps in and does something with no worry about reward? They call that a hero.
Or an idiot.
That reward is to help the rest of the people who, unfortunately, lost their homes to get homes. That was kind of our exchange.
Just, she visibly does not know how to take Ajan at the moment. Just
I'm not Ajan.
no, I know, but
Okay.
what Ajan is saying is not necessarily confusing her, but it isn't.
Look at that
Doesn't
funky little
seem to
guy.
be making a lot of
It's
sense
like-
to her.
It is or it isn't.
It is
It's
not.
Yeah.
That's
Like, you're just kind of saying words, my guy.
Yeah.
It's not that you're doing a bad job, it's that she specifically does not quite know how to take that.
It's like the type of person who's like who never gets like compliments or anything, so they just don't know how to react.
Mm.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
I just look at it. The point is, you're doing good work.
fair enough, thank you. And the reward's never the point. Service and duty are the point, not the reward.
Well, there you go.
We have a job to do.
Yeah, makes you a hero in my book. Let's ride.
We've been riding.
Thanks, I think.
I pick up the pace.
I don't-
Smooth.
Oh
He attempts
no.
to pick up the pace. The horses stop.
Damn it!
They don't stop,
this
but they
work?
just slow down.
God damn! No!
Give me the reins.
Bastard.
Give me the reins.
I want to learn.
Let me show
Fine,
you how
fine.
to do them. So you know how to do them for later.
Fine.
A little bit
Give
more
me the
complicated than
reins.
it looks.
This will continue for several hours.
Mm.
Until we arrive.
Do you
Uh-huh.
do you guys recall? Do you guys recall first time driving with your parents?
I have not driven a car yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do.
It sucks.
It goes something
Massively.
like this. It goes something like this.
Sometimes depends on what you're driving.
Yeah. It's like learning to drive. It's like learning to drive stick for the first time. Why did it? Why did it stop? Why did it stop?
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
I have very distinct memories of learning to drive stick in my dad's old pickup, except his method of teaching us wasn't, okay, so you're gonna drive now. It was, okay, we pulled over in some random parking lot 50 miles from home, and he just says, okay, drive home. Cool, Dad, thanks.
Yeah.
That's how I learned to swim.
Was he in the car with you, or he just...
Yeah, no, he'll just get out of the driver's seat, grab a pretzel, and then with like a pretzel in his mouth like a cigar, just go, okay, you're driving home now.
I feel like that's also probably how Ajan learned to swim. They probably just chucked him off the boat and were like, get back or don't.
Yep.
God,
Yeah,
no.
that would explain a lot, wouldn't it?
I physically...
Well, that's how Mike learned to swim. That's how I learned to swim.
Nice.
I physically shudder with the thought of driving. No. Have I driven? Yes. Do I like it? No. No.
It's fun when you don't live where you currently live.
I live in the middle of a city.
No.
Out in the country, that sounds like a great time.
Like, you're giving me a hard time now. Just wait till I teach you how to swim.
Oh, God.
I know how to swim.
Do you?
Dwarvos doesn't.
I
Dwarvos
am
doesn't.
covered in heavy armor.
You
I
can take
cannot.
that off.
I'm well aware of that.
He's not going to.
I'm not going to, not for a while.
Look, I'm telling you right now. Eventually, you're gonna need to know how to swim.
Eventually he's going to take the armor
I
off and
know
will
that.
immediately be attacked.
Heavy armor is also part of dwarven culture.
You're also drowning.
We live underground! Or above
Water
ground.
underground.
Far away from that deep water. Does water come up every
Well,
once
you're
in a while?
not. Well,
Yes.
you're not underground anymore.
I know. I do kind of know how to swim. Okay? But 99% of the time, I am wearing heavy armor.
I can teach you if you need to learn how to swim better.
I'm okay for now.
For,
If I'm not wearing
quite
armor,
honest,
I can kind of sort of swim. That's not too bad. I cannot
also,
drown is the way to put
you
it.
also probably don't swim the same way we do because you have, like fins and you can breathe underwater. So I think your swimming is a little bit different for people that aren't
I know how
Piscean
to
in
do both.
nature.
I'm also heavily boned, and I don't have the limbs to do
You
it.
are
Yeah,
you are a dense little guy.
You're gonna be heavily boned if you fall in the water and can't swim.
This is also true. We're not going to the ocean right now.
In the next
I'm not
one,
worried about it.
I was gonna say, by the time we arrive, we have spent a full hour debating Warmos's ability to swim.
Well, honestly, that's road trip talk. So
Correct.
No joke, that's
Yeah.
legitimately is.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do we see when we arrive?
Okay.
we're still arguing as we go.
The fir- Sorry. The first thing you see is as you have sort of left the immediate region of Kalaman into Greater Solamnia towards Nightland, uh, a sort of low fog settles in shortly before evening, and you arrive in the area you were told to investigate as it's just drifting across the land, mostly rolling in from the river. It's not spooky fog, it's just very natural kind of lowlands fog. And somewhere ahead of you, through the fog, you can see the dim light of some fires burning. They're not huge, they're not sending massive columns of smoke into the sky, but it's also the first sign of habitation you've seen the entire time. And you're beginning to pass by farms that they're not burned out, but they're very clearly abandoned.
Oh jeez, uncapped buildings are a little bit run down, that kind of deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
broken
Okay.
fences, escaped animals, broken windows, that kind of thing.
Damn.
So for like the
So,
last 6 or 7 miles of your journey, you're going through basically abandoned farmland.
and this does it's not a is it attacked? Like was it raided in any capacity?
Doesn't really
Yes.
look like it. Just looks more
Okay,
chaotically abandoned at the moment.
gotcha.
I wonder why they left.
Um,
Hmm.
Or if they're forced
going
out.
this
I don't
way.
know.
We were told that, weren't
Well,
we? They saw red people wearing armor in red running towards them, and they ran.
yeah, there's an army. There's an army here. There's
Yeah,
the hostile army. I'm pretty sure that's what they were running from.
probably.
Oh, it doesn't look like it. This looks rushed. So I'm assuming they were trying to get away fast, which means we're probably getting closer.
Yeah.
Now,
There's fire over there. Do we want to inspect it? And we're trying to maybe make camp for the night first.
Hmm.
I think we should scout the area a bit before we settle down because, towns like this are perfect for armies to stock up. So they may have sent some scouts of their own to look for the area.
We could also what is it? Fuck. Um, we could also clear out one barn and stay the night, scout in the morning, and then move on.
What time of day is it right now?
Yeah, good question.
It is about 2 hours before sunset right now.
Okay.
We should probably start making camp.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna cast augury.
Which
Okay.
does I forget.
It's a premonition spell. Basically, it tells us if there's like good omens or bad omens in our near
It
future.
tells what?
It tells
Okay.
it what and it's the DM's discretion.
Got it.
So yeah, you see me pull out a little satchel of knuckle bones. I'm gonna give him a little shake. Then I'm just gonna cast him out. And what's the omen?
I believe you have to ask me a question for that.
Um, are are we in any immediate danger in this area? And it's a wheel or a woe.
It is indeed.
It is indeed.
Okay. For future reference, I think you have to like actually phrase the question as like what will happen if, because wheel and woe are like good omens or bad omens,
Right. Okay.
and
In
I
that case,
sometimes struggle to align that answer to the question that you ask. But I think in this case, the way you have asked the question, the answer is probably woe.
oh,
Is that bad omen?
Yeah, that is not good.
Oh dear.
okay. Guys, I say we scout the area now, and because I kind of like point to the bones as if it's obvious.
It's not.
I can't read that. You're gonna have to explain it more.
It's not obvious.
Ajahn, you just learned to read. Are you starting to read something? I just like look over at the bones, expecting there to be like writing on them.
There's
Just
no writing.
bones.
It's
Just
just the way
bones.
they land. It's the
Oh,
way they land. And I'm like, guys, can't you see that these two are receded, but that one was cast and it's turned over? That's a bad sign. Just trust me on this. When we
Okay.
scout this area, this is
Okay.
The suddenly
because
extant Y on the shoulder of Dwarvos goes, I think he's going crazy.
going is a strong word. That implies he wasn't already.
Well,
I can
sailors are
hear you.
superstitious. Sailors are very superstitious.
Yeah.
It's actually
So
that's
yeah,
very true historically. So
you're
Historically,
sure those little bones are telling you the truth?
well, I've avoided
it
storms
w-
using this.
it wouldn't hurt to look around first. I don't want to be setting up camp in the middle of a. Let's say there's several camps in our area that we're setting up in the middle of. We're gonna wake up to an ambush or dead of the night when the fog clears. We
Then
don't
let's
know.
set up in the loft of one of those barns. There are barns around, right?
Presumably, but it's not like a tightly packed community. It's like here's a farm, and the farmhouse is several miles off of the road, and then the next farmhouse is several miles down the road.
I say perhaps we pick one and store our gear there, then look
Yeah.
around and potentially make camp after.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it goes without saying, but we're taking shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a little bit
Already.
unnerving that there's absolutely no one to be found. For now.
But what I do find unnerving is that if there is an army moving through and they haven't ransacked this town yet, it's only a matter of time. So
This is
It's not
knowing
a
that,
town.
It's
Okay.
just it's just farmland. That's
Just
all it is.
farms.
honestly, more so, farmlands is food.
Correct.
So
It's not a town. You have not found a town yet.
the fact is, there's tons of food here and an army nearby, so they're gonna roll by here soon.
Probably, if they
So,
haven't already.
well,
Well, they probably haven't because we don't see signs of this place being ransacked.
because you said that there was no signs of like any sort of like because it seems like people moved out of here in haste, but it doesn't look like things were like thrown about and like and looted, right?
No, looks more like a hasty exit than
Right.
looting.
So maybe they got wind of
So
an army like a day's out, a day or two out.
yeah.
Or
So I'm not
something
taking
like
any
that.
chances.
No, preferably not.
Yeah. And imagine that like I learned augury specifically to like watch out for bad weather, but it's just like well, bad omens are bad omens, land or sea.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
So I guess we just we'll set up a camp and you know we'll rest in shifts.
I thought we just said we were gonna go check out the fire we saw on the horizon.
There was fire on the horizon?
We saw smoke from what looked like some kind of settlement or life on the horizon, didn't we?
Yes.
That's what we were going to go investigate. Right?
Yeah.
Or,
Presumably?
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Man.
Well,
I don't
I thought
know.
we were gonna. Okay, I guess we'll do that first, but it's risky.
By show of hands,
well.
who is currently awake?
Me. I'm awake.
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad.
Outside of the
Do you wanna-
campaign or inside the campaign?
Outside.
Yes. Alright,
Uh,
so,
do you want to save this for next time?
It sounds like combat.
we
to
don't
me.
have to. I just need to know what you guys are doing.
Okay.
Storing
So-
most of our stuff in a barn somewhere.
I think the thought process was that we had just talked to. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that we had found this area, right? We saw smoke on the horizon. There's fog. It's getting dark. Arjan, we talked about setting up camp or going to investigate now. Arjan asked the question, would we be safe around here, like making camp around here? And the Omen said, whoa, bad. Not great. So that led us to believe that maybe we should go investigate before we set up a big camp and take a rest here. So I think the plan is we're gonna go store our horses and carts, then on foot approach whatever's over there to investigate. And if we deem it safe, we're gonna gather information, and then if we deem it safe, either do something or go back and take a rest. Is that everyone okay with
I
that?
mean, yeah. That honestly is the most logical series of events.
Sure.
Yeah.
Two of us?
I don't know, man. Either way, TBH.
Alright. So I think I believe that's what we had talked through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that as far as I understood, that was the plan.
Okay.
So I'm gonna instruct.
I completely
Hank
missed the part about the smoke on the horizon. I am tired.
You're fine, man.
Understandable.
So maybe we should save this for next week if people are tired.
We can, if
I mean,
y'all
it's
want to
been
lay it off here.
4 hours.
About 3. We started
Three
an
and a
hour
half.
late.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We can stop here if y'all want.
I can keep going. It's a matter of if other people are too tired.
I would personally like to go to bed, but that's just me.
Alright.
Yep.
You shouldn't
Do that.
yeah. If you're
Well,
tired, we can save it for
I don't
next
think we're gonna make you stay up, so if you're flagging, we can call it here.
I kind of am. Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
I would like to call it air. Is
I
that okay with you
have
guys? Because I don't want to feel like I'm dragging you guys
No,
down.
Dude, don't worry about it. I have fully fallen asleep in the middle of games before.
It is D&D. We take care of each other.
This is
I
true.
did make relentless fun of you for it.
Oh, as you should. It's hilarious. And then the week after, Det did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like living an adult life and
Kind of
playing a game
sucks.
late at
Kind of a
night.
little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like it's hard to maintain energy.
It's fine. We can pick this up next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
More
I'm fine.
of a chill
Alright.
sesh today.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've made progress, and honestly, that's really all I care about. As long as y'all had fun, we're doing good.
No, I
Yeah.
love this.
Good.
It's
I'm
not
happy
just a hack
we
and
got
slash,
to-
which I appreciate greatly.
Yeah. Nothing says genuine role playing like getting into an argument about the importance of swimming.
No, y'all are great. I love having this group. You
The
are
chemistry-
wonderful to run for.
It feels like we have actual in-game chemistry, even though we have that out of game too. But it
Mhm.
feels good.
Yeah.
A good sign of that is the fact that we bicker and kind of poke fun at each other.
Uh-huh. It's really good to see.
Also,
Also-
I gotta appreciate that we had a conversation last session about the whole sparring thing. We both had, neither of us were having the conversation together. It was two separate conversations.
Two very separate conversations. Like you trying to learn something new, me like projecting.
Oh, she's got anger
projecting
issues.
my-
Yeah, that's
my-
an angry lady
projecting
right
my
there.
anger. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Speaking of which, do you guys want to? Are you guys interested in the talk I'm going to give on Monday?
I'll be there.
I am interested. I don't know if I can make it, but if I can, I will.
Monday or Tuesday. And I've given
Fair
this
enough.
I've given this thing a million times. It's just like I don't know, just like cool stuff I've found to be very helpful in my games.
Yeah, I am always down to learn new stuff from people.
This is true. Like a good lecture, I always really enjoy.
I will make sure that it is boring and stale as possible.
Absolutely.
Going through slideshows that are either pictures or photocopies of the textbook, you know?
Uh-huh. Gotta get real old school here.
God.
Yeah.
Favorite was when like they would give a lecture, but like all they would do is just put up a wall of text on the actual slide.
You know what's my favorite example of
Completely.
that?
I assume in engineering you get that a lot.
Yeah, no, the funnest part was when we had that, but it was for a coding class, and she never taught us how to code. She would just show us big blocks of text about what the code meant. And, like, it would be, oh, what does a for loop mean? And she would explain in several paragraphs what a for loop meant, and then not show us how to use a for loop. Or give us any time to practice how to use a for loop. And just explain
Good.
okay, next time, bring me the code. The code has to have a for loop.
Also, Ocean, I just wanted to mention, when
Yes.
you wake up from your nap or your sleep sometime within the next 16 hours, there's some very good gifts of the Lotus going that you might want to get in on. One of
Gifts
them's
of
an
the-
Orkin reactor blueprint.
Also, Barrow's got Prime Flow.
I don't even know what gifts of the Lotus are.
They're like
They're
free
limited
stuff.
time events. They give you good stuff.
Okay.
So it's not pressing, not get on right now. You need it, just letting you know they're available within the next 16 hours. You can get an Orkin reactor blueprint and a pistol ribbon.
Okay.
Another good mod.
Go sleep. Go take care of yourself.
Yes, I will go sleep. You guys, good night.
Good night.
Have
Good
fun.
night.
Bye.
I'm looking at this non-fungible trident thing. Wow, that is
Non-fungible
brilliant.
trident. It's wonderful. I found it.
It's so great. Curse, you may never actually wield the trident in a physical sense. You may never touch the trident or attune to it at all. Yes, you may have purchased it, and you do own it. However, it must stay sealed in the ancient vaults of Tyrion's soul. Instead of wielding it, you may carry a fine painting of the trident and all unofficial papers of authentication to confirm that you do technically own the trident and show just how special you are.
Yes.
Other
Other
features.
creatures can make a good. That's amazing. That's so great.
Notice it doesn't say that they can make a copy of the authentication papers, but they can absolutely get the picture. They can have
Yeah.
the same amount of stuff you do
So-
about the Trident.
So it was only a matter of time, but there was actually a suit regarding people screenshotting and copying NFTs in like an actual civil case, and because some dense motherfucker actually was stupid enough to bring it to court, and
Good.
Oh my god, did
Not-
that set a legal precedent?
it did not. Well, it did, and it set the legal precedent in favor of the defense.
Yeah.
In the sense that it is perfectly legal to take a screenshot of a picture online.
Because technically what you own is not the piece of art. What you own is the address it is at. It is
Right.
stored at.
And
Which creates
it,
a legal precedent that no, people can screenshot and use it without your permission.
and I think what was so funny about the whole thing is just that talk to anyone, and you guys are probably aware of this because I mean it's not exactly a secret, but famously policy is always like 10 years behind on technology.
Always.
So the fact of the matter is that this was doomed from the start because they were asking like a presumably older justice to make a ruling on something that most people like over the age of 40 don't understand.
They
And
were
most
also
people,
asking someone that's not an NFT bro to talk about NFTs, and so the answer was always going to be no and negative. That's a bad idea.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't, the answer wasn't that no, that's bad. It's just that no, uh, there's no question
Uh-huh.
of
Mhm.
theft or of plagiarism
Uh-huh.
because it's not an IP. Because you can protect an intellectual property. That's a very established field of law. An NFT is not an IP. It's a
So,
it's a
go ahead.
digital token. It's a digital
Mhm.
token. And the fact is that the reason like the reason why it's like this is not a matter of property because he didn't take your property. He took a picture of your property. You can take a picture of a house. You didn't steal the house.
I love this because there's also the fact that
Correct me. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but theft is legally defined as depriving someone of the use of something through taking it, which you have not done if you have just screenshotted the NFT.
Well, so okay, so theft is a very broad term.
Uh-huh.
Um, so a big thing that we usually use the term is adverse possession. Adverse
Uh-huh.
possession is the act of coming into like having a physical control over a piece of property through non-consensual means. So
Fair enough.
the reason why you keep it broad is because sometimes adverse possession can mean you accidentally like took someone else's property,
Uh-huh.
or it could mean theft, or it could mean
Uh-huh.
burglary.
I
piracy.
think it also means that like taking something that someone else doesn't want to be taken, which as far as I'm aware, those bikes that police like use as bait, they want you to take it. So,
If I may
Well,
make my
that
I don't know, man. I'm no lawyer.
I'm trying to
neither is
be.
Mike. Neither is
I'm
Mike.
trying to be.
Haha.
I
Hopefully I
don't
will
want to
be in a
be.
few months.
If I can make my two comments on the whole thing.
Yeah.
The first is that the adverse possession thing. It's interesting because there are ways to do it because that's what piracy law is. It is depriving someone of anything that is representative of it. So if someone is using something you own to make money and depriving you of money that you could make from that thing you own, then that is illegal,
If
like
right,
piracy.
if you hold the intellectual property rights.
Hmm.
So
But
that's a very
NFTs,
important distinction.
yeah. My
Like
second comment was the best part about the whole NFT thing is technically you own the address it is hosted at. You do not own the thing. Owning an NFT does not entitle you to use and make money off that NFT, nor does it prohibit anyone else from doing that. The owner of the piece of art owns that right, and owning the NFT does not inherently come with the rights to owning that artwork.
right, the token or like the artwork that you see is just a visual representation of the actual token,
Hmm.
right? So you don't even own that picture. You
Yep.
just own the token where that picture is seated.
So if you make money off of that artwork, not the token itself, like selling it, reselling it, but the artwork itself, like using it in advertising, technically you can still be sued for violating intellectual property rights because you don't own
Right.
that art. You
Because
do not have the right to make money off of it.
if they own the IP to that art, because most if you don't actually own the intellectual property right to that art piece, because you can own an NFT and have the IP rights,
Hmm.
but owning an NFT is not IP.
Yep. They are not
It's not
inherently
intellectual
connected.
property.
The two
Um,
sometimes go together, but they are not inherently connected.
right. So the in an ideal world, NFTs could actually be a practical use of like digitizing or having some like understanding of digital property. The problem is that it was created in such a inefficient and like very artificial manner especially in a platform that's entirely artificial. So it was doomed from the start.
Nothing about this basically was actually a good idea, except
Right.
for the idea itself.
It's funny
So-
because we've seen some good examples of its use, such as websites where people trade like sneakers. What they've done is they've made digitized token to represent specific pairs of shoes that can be traded, as opposed to trading the physical shoes back and forth 20 times.
But
And they
they're
can't add
also
any. Yeah.
right. And those things are still inherently tied to a physical piece of property, much like a fiat currency.
Mhm.
So there is but it's held to a physical standard. The problem with NFTs is that there was no physical standard.
They were just a
It
thing
was a
that you said you owned.
yeah,
Yep.
and the best part is my brother-in-law. His brothers were gung ho on NFTs. They were all in. They are like they're Silicon Valley